yeah.
Okay. Now me pacho ya teso say and you won the video ne ba out na eno kru be ne wom.
Na Carlos.
Boss
as much as nipa say one, if you now want to me, but me so nipa say one.
Okay.
Yes, celebrity so no bank phone me. E become pa na phone ni wo street ni ade cry chain ko phone mo no say one.
Okay.
Now say me say ba video ba kwa, ne say we say bia na me ni ba ko pe ni bia na me no be say more than maybe 20 videos. It me we video bia fa and there say what say na am fa mano gbu ni ma say video me ni bia na video mo bi. Ono say one ono very well say you sent a video and can you video back on more. She's more big video base 50. No some me. They don't know they are sending me. And they don't know I take it. I'm more of problem. I'm answering me. Campo abroad here like me show up no. So let me catch say. So the person me black me and say me good master. Me me man S7. Me my woman me 1 2 3 4 5 6 7.
Ooh.
What I say? And yeah, who say what we need to say, and I say some black me shit. Me remember me go up on time. Me the first boyfriend with 10 years. My last boyfriend with 4 years. Only we put baby on the campo. Never social media. Now me for who so black no issue and I say we then to realize me family could move mas na me mama ko heba ku 7 room na in the meto area see the internet never forget.
It's true.
Room na in meto area just because of the bench here. What's a black me who say who scaben plu go da the scaben plu go da na dey na wo nti a wo me pe wo hon nti me pese pe wi wasi and I say level ben film ben na wo say wo me review da. But members my worst Twitter check me first remember my worst Twitter check go phone ni code wo me because me TV so you know say bia impeni me and go ni me check on me school say wa sempa to ma say
it was a
it you know bia me go ni na say in express of them ni if you make sure o so wa say me na me use guard me side the thing me person o back say me person me can say say one like say one we Lucy Gado, seminar me Lucy Gado, me side and a video about I can't say for sure. Or the meeting got someone I have phone if you side and being if you side and I say
internet is a video no who video no
for now me but I'm video no
okay
yes and for now me but I'm video
now video no
say another video is about if you're the room
yes me one so
yes, I didn't think if you don't me can say and also it be my black million. Yes. I don't know me can I don't know cast my anybody be anonymous.
It's true.
So the way I say I don't open the was saying you know only more issue. I don't know. If say way to then you know read about the someone find way now control damage.
Yeah.
Now so I say na but say leak video we fucking up. The side we call the video in the first place crampo. First fucked up. Like I could be require first.
Now me about your video. Why phone am I recording here?
Oh no, only phone, only video, only phone on the recording. Only video. No. The video no the sending me to cry. I forget that sometimes me forget you know. And I want to say I miss you. And then I video what say. What I say? The only you see that particular video say very passionate character. So she say passionate.
It's true.
And so I don't know separate cry for some weeks. Like I think no, me fans say. Almost a week, 1 minute in Casania day until one was saying, I miss you. A video, no, any with the caption, I miss you. I say, I want to be a video, no. You understand? But from that particular beginning, in fact, I said, the that time, I don't know video, no. And then she has no video, no. Said that time, in the key, say from the side, me, Obi, you be a catch your audio, and also in case with my explanation, where you can say, at least 200 the band makers Henry phones to on October 2020 October 2022 but 2 phones
by that time by that time now phone no now who believe this is a video now phone so maybe say name what me video it won't be easy for you to access like that
So the make us say.
Okay. And so obi nya wo phone no kwa na only back on it won't be easy for the person to get the video.
Yes, it will be easy for the person to have to get a video. When we hotel so obi ba hotel ho be empire do me ho.
Yeah.
Now oba no open negotiation for me nsa wo ntoni me gina ho kasa be say 20 minutes out the car ho. It's nipa the car so na me two phones na gu here. iPhone 12 back on 11 back and I made it in a good so like a good phone so and I drive it phone or drive a car out of the hotel and have 2 phones in the good actually yes video come me hotel camera and record this yes the phones like actually you suspect the same person now drive away say me sure say phones in the torso kind of because the camera look like say about 100 meters but
you know even when so phone you make a point say and you so bet me access phone which is true so phone so phone kan almost flash phone so be off so we be so use no for yeah so no
hacker bisa instead me Snapchat account account me one plan anyway. Not that one was I'm not more about say 43 me dress and account no check Henry Face Mr. Face 1.
Yeah.
Oh, Snapchat I only know 43,000 followers. This one is just about 20,000. That was when I meant to access my Snapchat view.
Oh, and I also
yes.
And I also
this particular Snapchat try a new one.
Okay.
As I say, I say there me Snapchat stories muna video yes say do say there because that particular Snapchat no. If you be a woman Snapchat behind him, say this particular one, a new one, my old one, they had a lot of followers. Anyway, so since that time, I've never been able to access that Snapchat view. You know, I say we are not taking screenshots of that particular Snapchat account. They are available still, but since me, I say, I've not posted anything in that Snapchat since that October 2022, but it's still like active. I'll show me a call, but me access to that Snapchat view. It is a yes, a particular Snapchat movement as our videos, no, it will by chance be. And I say, but
you know from your heart 100% you didn't put the video outside.
101. I mean, you be better one thing saying. Now, I said they didn't make it. Then when I made it.
Now, my patrol, my
more to lose than you.
Of course.
Once a while, maybe you just have maybe what so-called TV brand, social media brand. But me, I have more to lose. Me want more. Me have family. I have 3 different families. That's what I say. I have 3 different homes and 3 different families. Now, many two are my dream that say, me don't know every day. Me you don't know every room. I can say, like. The make us man je won sa
enti na that means o man ma me
uni ba then you have nothing to lose. Me I have more to lose than so you like just
na me bo na yire mo do sa na wo
I do ma the mechanic no was after so to the mechanic into no that question was saying
it's fine okay and another private stuff
my town maybe into
now ma who say nkofo bi so aye interview bi say here wo to ton ho niema ni nyina aka ho ntina why the opese o blackmail girl no and o krobe no won like say
let me point me here people when I myself, I'm too smart to say I will broke. Let me just I want to put the nipa pony and nipa pony. I look at some show, the Japan want to put I change the member to put for here, no matter them. No, it's not big. Who by now I can say, very saying, Charlie, Uncle for
original, someone can say repeat. What's how much to me? Sorry, I say.
Me too sorry. I can't say me Charlie. I was saying she made for the dinner. Madame, me and you. Let me go to my.
Not just the Japan doors because me omo kofo bi number ko ni portray character bi so ni mo na ehia na wakwa koton hotel bi ne nema me so omo
say stage say phone call say dey na no until na be say post no me say radio station call this nema no nanka nsema wo Ghana ha yan koma TV and come family mass walk up no more. Of course,
because omu your damage control for the girl, right?
Yeah, damage control. I say minimum. Almost say someone one place say or normal stage someone or that fake on here say or better call your Charlie, his FM. Charlie Unia. Obi na edi me pese oni me yede eni me nya issue bi ade pese mu ni si mama na pese mu ni ti no on so me kan mu bu ma se na ese you see something like that simple ke so be
na
idea why yen so idea why yen so yen sa ka Peace FM eni hit an ka ma sam dan ke fa wo ben enye de bi an ka Peace FM die an ka sa ebia a video about a video na social media for the can 7 and come 7 say 1 week from the count 2 weeks from the count and ka Peace FM ya ka mo frɛ obi say nipa na come asem say me personal life say me no say me man say me business and ka no dan ka fa video go ben
because
obi na all try say
my mentor there apart from say Peace FM for Ghana me an kasa kwa me inbox mu many so many people like Umaba be catch me say to the point say go be crowd by say I nebra down for no be sere 3k e won nebra ho no momote say was so ton hotel na nema ba me no every tobo me hear me videos no I was very careful I was very careful and say I own a gas station in Ghana na say na me
videos say my chef the na post am here no
I was
no comment how I am no I won't put my shoes so far me look as if you mentioned the account
nyanto was na hwani account na me to me gas station and does that mean
that was somebody account
me say na me to me gas station does that mean say me to me gas station it hear me it doesn't mean say hear me what you say me say me obi be catch say what on hotel what on ton dan be brain in the internet here but I was paying very attention. I was very careful about this situation because I've been
that ought to be there. Make me die. Now I'm see there to turn way.
I know na mentor say.
You want to mentor and mentor na so no dey nganche but who can I be there message that to turn.
It hotel the assistant right now no. E wa wo dey da so odi.
Na even Sisia no say wo ba pona say wo ka che wo ba ka o ma misike to asu na me de $1 million isi wo tell na fa 2 million na man ton ko na me ye kwase ya
no kre
to ma ka lo me o pa me bu da Sisia so ko $2 million say me je mo e ja mo
of course say yes because you can even
street club bia pe hu me mami on street check you on bia pe hu me mami and on some level if you bit no ska che back make me awo din che me at bia saluting your street bia the bia to chema me on my level say the make say
me ti ase pa na me before video we no ebeba out and before say ebeba out no say one
say what me no be call level we say me no area asound me no I don't keep contact with you bia me o ya me require say be no e jani we say dan by eja me no ka say video we ase yes, me be a one school. Why if you compare be all the same name as school compare game friend and football that. Yeah, leave the past where it belongs. You know, when you go home,
yeah.
Say them can't say.
Metiase pa, metiase.
Because let me to new grana. What we say be our we be for one part, like I say, my jealous and I say, now that kind of thing. Intimidate.
My message soon be samba could be honestly very interesting because most say I'm not football play air can or TikTok. Say what time and a no one you say, oh, a year no more, no winning.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I think my wedding by so no, not my wedding. She was at my wedding.
Yes. Because the memeti e kwa de na say one na na ba na ye MC e wo wedding na say sana memeti ye it me first me first video no kwa na that is how me hear no say because obi be mama like info and the one on back on so see kasa no na I say what is some little bit of evidence be come no tell me gina story no so ye the building media na me no back kwa me na kasa no but no your ba
Okay.
Yeah, me know where I can send you me on the chat in na media.
Oh, they don't in here like only for the chat there.
No, because people actually know what's going on. And me who damage control na as a moye na me na as a bufu. And I'm not going to lie to you. Me say me name big man be our contact me. Me person I don't want to even mention the field. Was say this girl, this party, I don't want to mention say you know. The group no that is what they do. Omo blackmail a man for videos. Omo and what that no. Big man on the catch me. Was say why buy mum penny phone bia. Was say ya do omo ye no. Omo timi e no da. Yes, no mono as omo blackmail won't ya say be say you know. And at the end of the loop, one so when tia umobeye bat. So far, no so there are a lot of big men and they are paying to them. Like they don't know.
Because there's no way out. I can't say Debbie. Okay. Black Mundi there no crisis 2019 said then on that part no na me respond yan kasi no nka wan some that
yes
akata push ya me not affairs
because sa video no so no sa video no sa mama for the watamo
sa afani video yeah sa video na say na me respond there sa guy views then na ese guy bi payment
yeah
me catch obi kan wan some kire me
yeah me na
ma me respond here no
abuse mo bia kwa baba GhPage TV mejiri se adom ne ahweyi enti no obi bia ehwo ye medi Rashad awasha wabre na dream ena de kakra bi ne de bremo na yenche kra kakra bi ena de bre sabre wo hwe me GhPage TV o YouTube ena GhPage News e wo Facebook na so okay am kasa topic we kran gen kan wasem bi na empanyfo bu bebi yesi amamian kamasem eya unse asemasi obi e wade eya but mpa ku dum panyifo ni mu a ansa na bi mu akasem yesi ngure nkasa ore parachew enkasa aso parachew eya ehwu ubedi ya osa truly emfiri mu da it's in going to Friday na me say story week you know come on yen kan wasem bi but unfortunately Harry fits ese Ghana for amana nkana asem a eya was see amana nkana asem a because he has a lot to lose compared to a year you about say one or no standing at the bigger chance obe lose a lot of things.
Okay.
It's Ghana for man kanasem. And yajuma yesterday some conduit between here and here. Was able be a kanasem fire so. It's a brasso, see a bimon so kanasem. Wakasa Harry Feta kasa wakansem pa to the extent say he's telling Ghanaians he has nothing to do with the video. Basically, he has nothing to do with the video. Yes, on the video, no fake pregnancy, a course. I had a panache, we had a clock on. And the man who video, but after that, the video is gone. Only more shame. And besides, all mass 7 or year I think so, here 2 or so, or year or mass 7. One in math 3 or mass 7. Backwards in 10 years or so. It's he has a lot to lose. Oh mama yes me nane baby nyini now bani because social media and a daddy me usa na tafre ma ho daddy na do ketrema na yes deputy yes and I say he said that video he has nothing on the crown can no cry abuse because he was drunk.
Yes.
No one named the ekoso no crown imagine say we ne oba akwadampo na oba no drunk or intoxicated. No one in the air cost. No one tried the video.
Supremo.
Now they are babon. Yama unya some jeda. It's in or no one's on a victim.
Yes.
One a victim. Until so who video because our video phone so. On no is shocked. It's he has nothing to do with this. He wants Ghanaians to know so the video the babon thing. Now it is on the catch and say or no babon thing because no more or blackmailing or kwambeso. You be me blackmail you for them. I has I was after something to lose. What can say bebre? What chim? so no kran so no nkyere no e wo ho scan e wo ho omo de e ko na aba nti gina ho
yes
eta no
yes
e na ye ka boy mema so e bema
oh yes
obi no so na bema manage so we bema nti no e wo no eti kwa be kan nsem so what ye nyina eti mamenye wadwen check kakra bi na yenko main topic
so supreme said o sika say akoso ntimi nso ne bema manage nso ide ono a
so ne bema
bema so no medra nyi no enya bawie uti asema wo kan wo say ono kra na nya reaction a efri se wa mo camp omo blogger Sano or Fano.
As it was been post something.
So the Bempa. Aha. And your reaction if you on the side the buyer.
Congress.
And once better the muscle. We can not expect to say once better the muscle. Nan komu no be soon.
Obi soon.
But reaction na buyer. I
know bit kofi na wudi abe was am soon.
Ele Ghana for na fan yo mo ho. Omo am verify say.
Wa be say yo no wa be ka say Photoshop waka.
Any o say no baby. Me test what react to people na mo akakra o
na say gina kan
yes
Emma Friday na no say wunya nsem bi ka kire no
yeah
ka kire say wanya de as bema de eto da no yesi wakuta ni dua mu yi ukura dua mu a enye bibia na yakasa
yes
because
wa would you say would kan ye mistake so ba be kasa and any reaction na be mpa be kan be ye na anka won kasa kra ma en stress e yo na dampa mu ne raba na dampa. It's for all of a sudden, so Obe reach out to Carlos. I think it's Carlos in your information.
Carlos no IG.
No, Shenji we no omo buki time. I said that Kasa and also put you on the record say he's the only person who's going to talk to.
After that he's not going to speak again.
No, on Kasa only Obi Kasa bio. Nchechemu no. Supremo utie na obetenase.
Yeah.
Utie na obetenase. Ntina na wo Kasa ya kan asan show boy
I'm a man come asem there.
Yes. Uti na obetenase but ekwa akosi say. On say why oba. Man no so come asem no wan hwe ya. Esi ekoba nyina say wa kana no atum.
Yeah.
Enti the mistake one we Henry Bay and said the more we explain no hono. The more we explain nko for find fault or nsem nim bebre. Mind you, osan so kekai kan nsem bia ye based on security issues in terms of finance. Say onu sika ono ho emfri no ho da. We are hearing say
issues dealing with
it. What we are hearing say no cre say enya no cre say no cre na say bia ya ampa so omo do monsa crowd to 2 so na say you under investigation asem we are okay
ya trigger lot of things
o ma dige dru bia no they will be tempted some bet dige more cause obi a woda ho eh we yam timi show ma ka kire o here say o properties ni we okre also o kire no there into one way you are addressing a particular issue. But then at the end of the day, when we have found one addressing issues with Bria, one personal life.
Yes, Omoka say be say kasadodo and for some pomuda.
Yes.
It's
Obana awasam ko besungu so e me ka so yo oba de nsan kanadija mu pie aden na mema kra mo kan wasem ne den oba no ma yedin. Unsa na ba try san ko APRB.
Yes.
Basidum ko fosi born echi no.
Ne kasa no so antwayi. Ankoyi ko.
If you want to so my bibi.
Obi ankasa biem.
Oma ko silent. Nti also no so kana no tum. Ghana ne wo no. We yan catch 2-3 days.
Okay, unse we cry the too sensational. E be 2 weeks. So a politicians need the and 3 days na twam. But we maximum 2 weeks na ka twam.
No, on that time video e buy. Na ebi mo video no. Na ebi mo picture. Ana fi odo de buy. Ke fi odo de ni ba be fi odo no supreme me no mienu nyo. Oti adwuma na se.
Oti ase.
We ji na ni nam ne ba bi.
Ama ne de no kra kata.
Ne de na kaka.
Yeah.
Obi kra nkai se fi odo kra episode ba betwa mu.
Yeah.
So e koso no but then osanso make a very valid point. Oto question magana for say. Mo say me blackmail no. Okay, mate. I didn't na me blackmail no. When you say Ojinudi Henry Ojinudi say or you more famous say wa.
Okay.
Yes.
Also
no nipa nim ne che also wo de ne yesa odina team so.
Enye sa e na ke ye kono where to
where street so.
Street ni so.
Because I pay the dues.
Obi animo.
Also ye tisi street so I won't survive. Obi animo. You appreciate ni ye nim no. Onu ye nim no.
They know what he can do.
Yes. Enti Henry some na kan nyina no. I think so onya abotre. Said wa kasa duro no bia.
Ontwaso.
Said wa kasa duro bia supreme ontwaso. No onya abotre.
Abuja.
Rashad.
Quick one.
The mechanic say Beman Casabibre. Emum say a wadi na a ya. I was set with me Cassans and Gazawan Casal Trim Crana.
You
bonny. A buyer na first blackmail issue ne by say or no mom the video no blackmail say one na akoye nsem bebre enti me hu ne say bia kan so megas on blackmailing no na aso ho a ba so be chire nsem mu na fake pregnancy ni ade no ehu hia mo twemo mpana no na ye ni ho nya video krompo e ba abonten a kamenya sure say nim se woni say wa kra no manya bibia ye se manya bibia na manka small record mo ho na aba abonten na ni kwan say obekasa ho bebre e bi obesan wuti say fine e wo na awom but on blackmailing no kwa wonim kwan fa so e ba abonten no na wo dia so ha na wetwa so ba bekasa bebre bekasa be so beke kan sem bia ye besia nyansam wonsam ni ma still na no na lady na ni din ho nto no so be ma no krampo din ho nto because o ma o yere no oba na nete krampo no san e no be fili inti mema o ya ma se mema yo no NCP inti won kana no ntum na o ntwa
ne mema yo ne NCP ene o moto NCP
baby bia mo no why establishing you maybe an entias here wo me hu say one wo me jai say wa
oni ja no
nti mema wi ni
ema esu ne anyina ba
mema one na botre enti enya no kra wo so obo no so wo so asem so obo so
wa me ja no ka say e ne ya mi mum ja o
supreme nti men one women zero
yeah and miss another one
okay
what is it with women in this fake pregnancy trapping men and what you saying
say bia na ho ya
obso did you watch it
yes
oh say like
so bia be ma no hwe na say obetima boa in a way a wo hwe ne nkomodi na wo say ya ade a wo pe a unzo bu ho a for instance ebia akosua esogu na no film wo when him say the only thing I be ma obetimi ne me continue nya say baby because him say me pen kwara him say me pe ba boy him say me pe ba girl nti no obetimi dia tena ma che because when him say bia me page ano.
Okay.
And to say in the course of say yeah kasana problem over na person metene ho na no afro say bia
many more
I'm pregnant. But the only thing I be ma
so what Henry asmo kan I was say the 2005 ne ba mu abra obeka che ne say onyem no.
Yes.
It for the next 5 months na onyem na dey na dey 25 ne ko.
Then bia minimum next status minimum antenatal
25 no dey na ko. 5 months ne so ye no.
Yes.
Anyway no effective miscarriage.
Okay.
Rashad be see there one neck.
Oh, okay.
Nti aso se nipa ne boa de e keti ano na san ne boa. Na se enya no kra. No a clear say obia. Ahane hane.
So fake miscarriage because so obanyima. Enya dey am be call hospital.
Kwagu
Supreme say.
Me pay that exact.
Supreme answer na we
pay na hospital because as a responsible man they are in your hospital.
The snap no here.
Yes.
Was say let's not even talk about how much I was spending on other bullshits, including your fake ass pregnancy miscarriage. Fake miscarriage. That's what they say.
On there can tell you no cry na honey clear no nefu. Say oh, me so sembo.
Into 5 months.
Me so sem ha me.
Into 5 months on your banyim. One in the crown call hospital cry. And that's when who changes be about the body. No, that's not because say fake.
Oh, there is no doctor. Telenovela bi na wo show. Ani abaso so onsa no akọ hospital de bi akọ check.
Na kwakuma be catch for semenyim. When you just semenyim because yet what yet ye ho ase. 85 months na ma catch for semenyim no. And I think when me call hospital once a day.
And yes, motor addition before I don't expect it to be
observant. You will know say nipa onyim.
But when say there is a pregnancy so a me refi e di omode ma no. Ahwefo betima boain. Ubetimi say ya ana omukọ mo fair condition konkubo
Sismo obi we say
Agosia
say area say wo
no matter ba me experience because some nya be say obanyim na say ogugu so aya na ehwo ehye
sa
ai
okay
na say bro na say nsu nto a ultimi bunso ogu adiem na wo sa na wo hwehwe gu
yes
na wo hwehwe gu so engugu so be no okay yes I'm right back
hey Agosia.
And then the second part no so no blackmail asem no say no so I establish ho
some blackmailing
enoma mienu impa mienu no mo pictures e ba abonten say what dey ne ba e fi odo dey ba adentina say nipa mienu no mo nyina confirm so blackmail mo na ba ko pen so blackmail no
okay so now the one thing I'm saying can say one can be as well blackmailing.
Yes, from someone.
Somebody. The mere fact say nipa ne ben me no.
Interesting nam ka say na
no. Before you know no. Ono na aso na ekoko ne ntoko.
Nipa no crown ben no. That guy no. Or Snapchat. I say issue be aba. Okan ho asem. But say okan it say, oh many pass me sikwa akasa. But na ebi ko ne nyankasa or yes or damage control. Because I remember Saboga Sylvia ne papa issue by the same thing. And obeyema Boga Sylvia say oh ne nakasa was say ni say.
But no crino here on carry.
What has say
beginning and then say Henry Crabbe tried addressing BB.
For you know no so no on him say boy ne friend say Bempano. Ebia personally what make us say Bempano crowd na benefit pay.
Yes.
Ama would him say Bempa ben. Biscuit say BBS you ha. Na men a family. I decide to make kasa. Nekwa kuba monte be kasa. Asem yes say obi abegye.
Okay.
But you know sometimes I get it and I see where they are coming from.
But then still now you say what they on canon to. Baby I drone so we want him say we are scandal yes. He says scandal right?
Yes.
Say Western world, baby, unzon come in everything. So.
Oh yes, of course.
Well, I think say that very then they were much show.
By that they know your motivation, you know.
No, then a video and once a ben the next morning, the following day no buy, and I'm not sure red dress.
See on a panel by you.
Or the kind of motivation in your so-called life in your answer.
And not your call life.
Or call life in your answer, crown or screen so.
Once I say most organizations some clause be in their contracts say anything I obey a day a fee ever can company in the piano they will deal with you.
Okay, in the say sorry 2023 Steniama versus Serum, right?
Yes.
Versus First Atlantic
Bank. Yes.
Yeah.
BBC
no episode.
BBC. Senka crowd west. West oh. Because usia bema no. Usia ba no wa djuma nim.
Yes.
And I pay na djuma nim.
Yes.
For you na bia na ko ba na mpel.
Obel, yes.
But enam say when him say
djuma position
when we are be ready. When national service open djuma. It's no crowd west. But yamfa say you work in an organization.
Okay.
Then you come on social media. That day no will leave. Yamfa say will leave. Yamfa say you are on break. Yamfa say that day will off. Now what's your camera? And then you decide to go naked. You decide to something like that. Adia ye bo dia. Ye the company be kan you need to be suspended. No pending investigation, but we know it's not going to happen because in the first place, you know, who is the CEO? Bula, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
And a managing director here, Nanaba.
Yes.
Of course,
I think someone has taken over.
Managing director, into business development managing.
Different business.
Imagine say, oye meant you, one fan water.
Yes.
One coffin by. It's how can such a person punish such a person?
That's extreme.
Yes.
Yes.
You know, but I think the same thing they see with a KGMB. And if you was nigga, typical, very typical example.
Okay.
If you was having this, is it concern police or something?
They know you're on there.
You say, didn't corrector?
Yeah, concern police.
Yes.
Not dressed as a police.
Yes.
And I broke. I was betrayed because you are one of my closest friends. Now BBC told me, I expect you to stand in. You see where
from that professional.
I think saying suspension no crab at least a bit one panel.
No,
because the very that or sign your live no comments no crown no trauma be assigned to be film no. Because then I'm not for commenting day. So at least we stay off for maybe 2-3 days because live no crime station and kasa page in live no comment section in easy.
Yes, it's you know abanesano. Then I make us say some companies be on one. They are not going to directly suspend you. For example, when this video and your fault, two consenting adults.
Yes.
And mochia momiti whatever you did, you've done it. Obi the diaba bontain, which neither of you is taking credit for. Obi asking your fault.
Yes.
It's in company be obeka say for the next 2 weeks, you are assigning to a therapist. Go through the therapy session. Counselor should talk to you for the next 2 weeks. After the next 2 weeks, you know, you come back fresh with the good mindset to continue your work.
Yes.
Company, that's what they will tell you. Omonka say, yes, suspended. It sounds to us as the punish you, but we want you to go through the counseling session. Then you come back. Sana someday because your fault.
It will be so as a brands no more associated with the company. Almost to me impact also.
Almost to me impact
because obu all victims so as okay product here they buy this particular person on screen so yeah or advert my or OPM near the adina no. Yem pese ye product ni show display any pan be can was because obi tenche obey associated
with it. But Ghana Ghana it could have been like that, but Ghana and Tessa what did I mention? I say unze you set of rules in the corporate world they different that's it. We want to pass through Yama Henry and Karase today the biggest issue I want us to talk about Berla Mundi. Yes, I may say this suade. Kwaku ye nyina mfa nko school kakra.
Okay.
Ye wi a ye beka presec fon kra no wasem. O first na mu ko school na geography book na mo jeton. Na jede de na waji book adi. Enkra no je almost 3-4 billion. Yes. Ye beka wasem, then of course we talk about Samira Bawumia is it Adamu ana Nini Adamu yeah. I'll get it correct for us. Ninuano.
Yes.
Akobubu kere Japan enuya so dan. Abu Ramadan. You be kind of asema no so nsensem bebre no. Kwagu we will touch on that quickly and then asofo abade mu fake prophecy no. And so be di won komo. Eti kwagu Berla Mundi.
Yes.
Ye nyina ti kroma and Berla Mundi decided to na that time na or GhOne, yes. Now, rhythms, right?
Yes.
And obey, is it the late afternoon?
Now, the late afternoon. Okay, so Charterhouse, or Miss Malika, and not Charterhouse when they only GhOne.
Yes.
Into a the new room, one sana EI before they take over. To a full process in
the she's been through it.
She's been with them or family.
Yes, Bella so on in a feeling near Penasem. And then one day we wake up now, Bella, yes, Bella GhOneTv 3. Everybody was shocked. Bella betrayed.
Yes.
That is what everybody was talking. What betray EIB or betray EIB? Yes. For the first time, what can I say? Kwaku yemna bi amekansi amman kamasem.
Yemie kwan man kofon
kamasem de and somehow aka. Watch them say man wo owo GhOne. Now she was treated as if she doesn't matter. By the bosses. GhOne. I know Bolare as one of the bosses CEO. I know Senanaba is. I think that she was the former general manager, right?
Yeah.
But Tamana Bella one day no general manager.
Yes.
But I think it's a lady for Fabi take over, and then full set of pension for Omuni. But I mean him coming anaba minim a year bulla.
Yes.
Bulla brapa ni bulla. Minim say Omuna ya juma. What's no treat? She was treated in a way. Than the real corner. I thought that Nipa and Kobe program a year 3 o'clock no, about 2:45. Obi ya 5 na omud Bella we in mekano ko catch say I say ye tena kuma ne nye the program we no person ya yes ma wonye we na be say yes ma wonye I say wono de adwuma de mfa na ho kwaku yenkuti ni say bra na me pese me find out because me yedi bebre di me say one die na be ma obi no be ya adwuma na ofiri ho no ma onfa wan se banko
okay
what I say and na and also you're right because in someone I'm on Ghana yeah video number.
And I'm going to make this very brief. I mean, on my way, I was trying to figure out what to talk about. I had thought about a few things, but I needed to sort of put it in context. And I was trying to understand, okay, so when we talk about goals and growth, which aspects of my life do I need to talk about? And today, I'm going to talk about a part of my life that was very difficult for me, but that was what led me to what I've become today. And usually, I know on social media or when we get to speak in public, we always talk about the nice things that happen in our lives. But we're human like everybody else. And so at the end of the day, we even face more challenges than anybody, especially the growth. But before you make that move, you should have a goal. Do you get how I'm connecting it? Okay. So latter part of my days at GhOne, things had become very tough. I felt like I had grown to a certain limit and the platform could not offer me what I wanted anymore. But I was afraid to make that bold step to leave. And that was because my whole journey as a broadcast journalist had started with GhOne. When it was for Charterhouse and eventually when EIB bought it. So from the inception up until that point in my life, I felt like I owed the company, something, a favor, or or my career. And so it was going to be very difficult for me to say finally that I'm done and I need to move. I was looking for a way to move because things had become very difficult. I just wasn't finding myself in that space anymore, be it relating with people, the work I was doing, because even before I started the show I was doing before I left, I was doing rhythms. And I always say that every time there needs to be a move, I just wake up, sit in my bed, and God tells me, my friend, it's time, write this down, and I do. And so I had just started the late afternoon show. Just 1 year into it, I had won an award. Then there's an opportunity for me to move, and I'm thinking, I fought so hard to have this show go on air. Because when I wanted it on air, my bosses said, I'm sorry, this is not going on air. We're not letting you leave your previous show because we're not sure we can find anybody to replace you. And so instead of creating a void, we'd rather you stay there and just plateau. I mean, they didn't say plateau, but they just said, we also couldn't find anybody who could do that job, so you might as well stay there. But I had interviewed everybody that mattered in the music industry, in the arts industry, and I was tired. Because a month later, the same person will come and I have to now think of what other question to ask. Because I was recycling them over and over. So I told myself I was done with this and I needed a show that would challenge me. And I was done talking about music only and what are you doing, what's your album about. I just wanted something a bit more challenging. My bosses said no. I had to fight. I had to cry. There were guests who would walk into the building and they'll find me crying. And they're thinking, what is wrong with you? And I'm like, my bosses don't want me to start my new show. And it was all very upset because they just didn't understand the backstory of it. Now, eventually, I had people who helped me and I started that show. A year into that show, I'm told, it's time to move again. And I'm telling God, but you just gave me this idea. So why do I have to move? And he says, well, I'm sorry, but you're going to have to move. Because I made you start this show for a reason. And that was supposed to prepare you for the next journey. I still didn't understand. So TV3 gets in touch with me. The first time, I want to move. I tell them, okay, I'll come. But at the same time, in the back of my mind, I'm like, you people, you're jokers. I'm not moving. So I accept, I sign a contract and everything. It's time for me to move. And then I have to tell them the bitter truth. I'm sorry, but I cannot make it. And it pissed everybody off, I'm sure, at TV3. They were very disappointed because they were just about ready to, put out the PR and say, so Berla is joining us. And this is me being so afraid to move. And so I got stuck in that space. For another 6 months, I was there. Now, this move came in March. So if my calculation is right, the final move I made was in September. So maybe about 5-6 months. Now, while I was there, things took a turn because I was disobedient. I knew I had to go, but I wasn't going. So God said, if that's the case, thank you. If that's the case, then I'm going to make it even more difficult for you. So now all the negative things that had to happen would happen. The backbiting started. There were a lot of accusations here and there. There were people who were treating me like I didn't matter. And I just didn't understand what it meant. But it was just God making the space uncomfortable for me. So eventually, I just told my manager that, you know what, let's see if there's still an opportunity at TV3. So we started having that conversation. They said, well, there is an opportunity still. We left that slot open for you. However, you need to assure us you're coming because we're not going to put together all the materials, getting ready to announce, and you won't come again. And I said, oh, I'm very sure I'm going. Because at that time I had it. I just couldn't take it anymore. I didn't see myself growing at that point. I was more depressed so I'd come to my show. If my show started at 3 o'clock, I'd get to work at 2:45. That's how badly I didn't want to be in that space. So 2:45, I'm there, and my boss is looking at me like, why are you coming this late? I'm like, oh, sorry, boss, I was doing something. But really, I'd wake up in the morning, and there was really no drive for me to want to be in that space. So I come at 2:45, my show ends, it's an hour, so it ends at 5, and I'm out. And that was consistent for a while. So I knew it was time. Luckily for me, there was an opportunity, and I had to move. Now, before that, I needed to ask myself, what really is your goal? Because it's not enough to say, I'm not comfortable here, so I just want to move. Sometimes you don't have a plan. Sometimes God has a plan for you. But at the same time, you also need to have an idea that, okay, maybe in the next 5 years, this is what I want to achieve. And just commit it to God and tell him that do the rest. If really this is not even the brightest idea, you know what to do. Just figure it out and help me. I'm just using my human mind. But that's why he says that your thoughts are not his thoughts and your ways are not his ways. So we plan and we plot. And we all have this fantastic idea of how in the next 5 years I want to drive the biggest car in Ghana. I want to have the biggest house. I want to be working at the UN. But God is looking at you and thinking, my friend, maybe the UN will come, but not immediately, not in the next 5 years. Maybe I have to prepare and take you through some difficulties. And then in 20 years' time, when I'm sure that you're grown enough, you're mature enough, then I'll put you in that space. TV3 was not on my radar at all. Because at that time, TV3 wasn't doing too well. So it really wasn't part of my plans. I just thought that, okay, right after GH1, I'm out of this country. I'm going to CNN, I'm going to BBC, and all those things. I don't think so. Because again, I was now growing in the social, affairs space. And I was trying to figure out what it meant to even understand the Constitution and all that. I really didn't know. So if I had gone there, I probably would have failed instantly. But funny enough, for someone who was doing entertainment and had just moved into a different space, to be called upon to say you're going to do the morning show, and you're not just going to do the morning show, you're actually going to start talking to the politicians, so you better start reading around. I was like, okay, I'm not sure this is mine. Maybe someone else, not me. And they said, I'm sorry, but you're going to have to do it. So I moved, and then in the space of 3 months or so, I went to work one morning, and I was admiring the work that my colleague was doing, because he was the guy that had been on the show for so long. It was me and another lady, Crystal, and we had just joined. And he grilled the politicians and asked them all these questions. And every time he's asking them, I'm writing. I'm like, okay, Johnny mentioned ABC. Write it down. When you go home, go and read about it. I didn't know what it was about, but I still would go and read, at least just so that when it's intro time, I look like I know what I'm about. So I'll go and do my chew and pour and come, and then when it's intro, I'm like, yeah, and this politician said this and that. And everybody's like, oh my God, Bella is intelligent. Oh. It was because Johnny had mentioned it the day before, so I'll just go and write it down so that I know that, okay, when it comes to saying this is what he said. Okay, let me just add 1 or 2 things to it, and then that's it. But gradually, I started developing an interest in it. And then eventually, I went to work one morning. This was about 3 months into the show, maybe 4. One morning, I go to work. I'm used to seeing Johnny there, and they say Johnny is sick. I said, pardon? Johnny is sick. And I said, so? There's nobody to do the big issues, the political conversation. So, sweetheart, you're going to have to sit in that chair. I said, oh no, I won't do it. Because I hadn't read anything concerning the topics that were trending. But I had to go and sit in that chair. Come and see. I was confused. I didn't know where to start from. I didn't even know who to introduce first. It was a mess, and I'll tell you that for a fact. I don't know if anybody here ever remembers the first day I ever did any political show. But it was a complete mess. And the messages that came, oh my God, who put Bella here? Bella should stay in the entertainment space. It's not for her. All kinds of things. So consistently, I had to face that kind of criticism. But the first day I did it, my boss called me and said, you've been initiated, so get ready, because we're going to make this regular. I said, oh my God, no, I don't want to do this. Initially, I fancied the idea of sitting there and grilling the politicians, but I was like, no, this is too much work. I'm not sure I'm ready. And they said, if you keep saying this, you'll never be ready. Sometimes you have to plunge deep. Otherwise, you'll never be ready. Now, I did a course with Harvard sometime. And so usually they would bring very successful business entrepreneurs to come and speak to us. Now, this person that came to speak to us, I think one of our last but one classes or so, he owns one of the biggest watch companies in the world. And he came to speak to us, and he said something that really touched me. Now, he said that usually as a little fish, when you're thrown into the water, I mean, of course, a lot of people swim with the tide. And it's very typical of human beings. We go with the flow, right? So everybody is going in this direction. I might as well go because I don't know what is here. I'm not sure how easy or difficult it will be. So let me go with everybody. But he says that there was one particular fish. When it was thrown into the water, instead of going in the direction of everybody, it was going the opposite way. So it was swimming against the tide. Now you see how the water is. Usually when you go to the beach, you see how it rushes to you. Do you ever try to swim into it? A lot of people, I mean, those who surf, they probably go into it and then they put their surfboard on top and it brings them back. But there are people who would go deeper and deeper, and you're thinking, why are you going there? You know this place, you're going to die. The water is going to carry you away, but why are you going? But he says that the reason his business was successful was because when everybody was doing A, he was doing B. So everything pointed to the fact that the direction he was going, there was going to be failure, because he was the only one going that way. Everybody else was going this way, but he said, no, I want to make something different out of my career. And so I'm going to quit my job. He had a fantastic job. He was getting paid a lot of money. He says, no, I'm quitting to start from scratch. And when he did, there were lots of hurdles. But he still decided to swim against the tide. It knocked him down. It gave him a migraine. He fell sick. He lost money. But he was still swimming against the tide. And then eventually, when he was able to get to that point where he had mastered the skills that was required to swim back, he didn't even have to struggle to swim because the tide just brought him back. And it was a successful journey for him. So he advised all of us that in life, you cannot go the direction of everybody all the time. Because everybody wants to be the same. How do you stand out? And I related it to my days at TV3 at the beginning when I was the only girl. I mean, at that time, they needed a woman to take over the affairs of, politics because they didn't really have anybody doing that. Now, I was the one that they were looking to. And I was thinking to myself, but I was doing entertainment. Why do you want to put me in this? Then I remembered that course and I remember that, okay, so if the man says swim against the tide, that means that every morning you're going to have to sit in that chair, you're going to have to speak to these politicians, and you're going to ask them all those difficult questions. You cannot succeed if they don't knock you down. So sometimes I ask them a question, they're looking at me like, did you just ask me this question? Like, you don't know? Because we bring a lot of people on board, people who are very well versed in, the various topics. And sometimes I ask a question and the way they look at me, and I know that's okay. This question I asked, dear bomb. It didn't make sense. But it didn't stop me. I'd go back and realize that, okay, so I made a mistake here. Let me go back and read about it. And then maybe that way I can do better the next time. But I had a goal, and my goal was to become one of the leading women who interact with politicians in the country. But it had to take a lot of knocking down because my edges were off. So when I ask a question and it doesn't work, the comments are coming, the politicians are looking at me like, madam, you have a lot of reading to do. I'll go back and I'll read. And I'll read and read and not sleep till the next morning so I can come back and better understand what it is I needed to talk about. Now here I am 4 or 5 years later.
Supremo.
Yasemu.
Nsemu koso kuma.
Nsemu koso.
Nsemu koso kuma.
Obi obi sase na dey event na a course yi. Ekwagwa event ne koso e wo eye Royal House Chapel International.
Sure.
E ho na eye enuaba Berla Osun e ho no kwa sorry. Na omo ye summit bi a ye frɛ no eye Goals and Growth Summit.
Okay.
Goals and growth. Say what goals say this is where I want to reach. And growing with it and all that summit. And I'm chair, educating the youth. I'm more sorry, and now I'm invited a nearby Berla. I think that in the first public speech, also when you be crowded, the first public speech about what yes, was it the first time, and now wakasa. Now people have amount for obi a chance any abasa. Ebi say, like I was asking you, say, what fridge mum? I don't have the Anya share on my platform.
Yes.
Ama, you've bettered yourself. What we say why better? We know you from the days of glitterati, the rhythm, is it the late afternoon show? Say something like that. You know where you are coming from.
Yes.
From Miss Malaka time.
Show progress now.
That show progress now. On that platform now, you wouldn't have been here. Yeah. And why don't you let it go? Backbiting, they treated me like I don't matter. And then I was not happy in the space. I was sad. Me boss me wasn't no swimming. It's I'm not for say you was like you're not being grateful.
Yes.
To omo. That is what some people are saying.
Yes.
Other angle also say it's now also to one no. Many to your pass me na me host glitterati.
Yeah.
And now say well you support me.
Yeah.
Now of a sudden maybe more preferential treatment.
Yeah.
Na mu yi free man.
Yeah. Harding.
You say me na nya me chade na manyam tiedi di ma.
Supremo harding.
Ma men carry ha me.
Yes.
Ma men what you saying?
Supremo, first of all, also say yeah, sorry them as ye tunko for fashion ko fun cry. Difference ka create
yeah.
But not only the worker. Berla,
behind the scenes, make a
yes, when you need
the growth ne fake.
Why are there? I think it's a charter house for baby on Mobiano. One person I'm very proud of Berla. Another person here, I think it's a lead back, your friend Regina Velvet.
Van Helvet
on Sanode. On also new growth no.
Also feature house Miss Malika on wishing.
Sister Debbie Sufi.
Debbie so called Miss Malika.
Pioneers no. You grow. Squad, of course, I do know.
Miss Wallace, I done it just for which I am done in Crown.
Anita Kufunako.
Anita Soko.
Yes.
Oh, nice.
It's no, Utimose, or more, or my idea, or more the young women or more making impact to your society in Naba and Bella dear, or your proper case study, a bit more appreciating your growth, no, and then a brand and a standard. On the what the new may be sharing. In terms of the dressing, the choice of words. The way they say, "Bit me the scandal be associated."
Yeah, ti one who can say me say another person may add man pay cookie tea.
Cookie tea, yes.
And I make us say, could it be Bella's influence? Because who say
no,
say a Bella influencer because look at how Cookie also dresses. Even when it's a kufu.
Yeah.
Could it be say yes,
yes,
we are looking up to her.
And they have a younger sister be on also media general or on some friend Noella.
Noella
dresses very well. So on some dressing very decent. I think two months in the panel. So ye be bukra on Manasia.
Nani who am
because of Omocran, so more ye be bukra on to Manasia because of my appearance and also those who are more the certain respect.
Eddie
Mao. Yeah. Yes, I prepare penty. Bella dear, and to Okasa ye pa. Nensam, however, more normal about community and 7 percent Bisanam 2 years supremo.
Busaniano.
Bella can send this time and not what media or what EIB. Ophelia say as a wild grew in space, you know.
Yeah.
Entertainment now, you know. I said the same questions, the same people now know whom. Ophelia so outgrow. Inti yensa the oil and famano. Sometimes we bit me feel supremo.
Yeah.
One case I bit me feel, but then mistake back why ye. One go for na year jumano. One penning for. And so na year jumano. Adebakwa ni refinesse some penning for no most of the time I am no medical yeah no.
On what the carry
in this instance, me name be an production manager, me name the boss be an or report to or no direct. But omo me name more experience in there na
Bella
Bolare started here good blast the name music and you know
he's been there. Yeah.
Nanaba bet TV so on Israelite money Gideon money Marianne Akolache money and you know
he's been there.
She's been there. It is all started who feel say you've outgrown your space and any way na. When say you uncle phobia or shower almost no omuhune na.
Okay.
So ebia na wo say what do yen change ade na man yen elevate to fa the next level. But almost who say akakakra. Ebia aka 2 months of adwuma bi ye fa so. Ebia aka 3 months of adwuma bi ye fa so. But wo say the fact is say ebia yebo yodum unso kan bi say eduba bi afi na adwunu mu nyina say BBC CNN because ye ma fans we actually omo ma fans we actually dey
onyom na mark you.
Yes,
I say teacher ni on a mark you. Then your teacher can tell you say would be them being with you because just must no baby at all was it.
Yes,
maybe as me kwa train of deck was there being control. Yes, because only more but also when is was bit much of deck was there being control train.
As a moja ko GTV na say oni ya boss Kafuri.
Kafuri.
Oko twetwe nkomo omo ko chia no twetwe nkomo screen so a big house to Kafuri. Unzo ko GTV
o say what dey assassin.
Obodjuma.
Oma GTV are attractive.
Yeah. Yes. Ano waka say the biggest fan in the bra.
Bafo.
The biggest critic Bafo. Also bit my popo obi pia kusa be no hey back on no supremo man no baby jet your 3 one year because na me say we bit my say so ono abukwa kwatena so bedwin do say say my mistake ti time no do ntumo say ada ni pa no be ka tro say
why dey no
and wadru no na wa hu say wadru it's one kasa no in your space you felt to say you have interviewed everybody why you adwuma ni na baby e be free dia babia obe konka. But if you are not also train a bigger opportunity with the amount because they've also seen it too. So I'm baby I'm free banner. I should say media general say so I'm tabo my meeting yema me benis do ye ono that time na ba mo so no so can use no
so
to ono no kubra no officer then na wo ko kire no e dey pa na wo ko ka onu ohun da
so kan nyina waye nyina bisia
oni ne bosses for no ma ye adwuma no say no mo si no ma nyina ntie ya o munya abotre ye nyina ye futu de man
yeah.
Yenya abotre ebiem osa kan asem bi osi otoda Ebi a Supreme Oba interview no. Obonsu wosu.
Obeba no.
Bella, how are you? Sanku osu keke kwa na nkanipa ni twem akwa Supreme. Kero kwa na keye.
Nipa ya ba interview na nyina wosu.
Osu. Rebo se nipa na sa ko busa se Bella ada na wosu se me boss so no person be ma me new show. That was unprofessional. Yen ka no kre ne nkyere no. Ko kan ni twa anke beti asem na no wo kan yi.
Wo kan brofu nti no.
Supreme na so make wan kasa.
Am sa no kan ya wagu. Okay. Sa no kan.
Enti anu so emfa nsu ade. Usu emakra ema no omo trick bi. Sa atam no kra ha no ko betima twan trust some ko betima ka trust e cramps.
Enso
bia na bi. But for you, enti anu kra kire say na wunyini ye wo space ni say na hu no. Na undru sa.
Because for example, who's that say na me na me ube me interview. Me Stomboy ameba. Me Shatawele abe me interview. Na me dru no ma. Nipa no me host na ejina wona mwe me ma mie me ba pa ebuei na esa me ube me interview me feel sorry about one
and that's it because your father said nipa dey very influential entertainer exhibia Shatawale that's a Shatawale abana se bibisa Shatawale be rap bola officer
na
mun change na yi man na fe onu na be ka bia ma wa na say we see adwuma masem yenye meeting na yenga wasem
Shata bula na de na Bella mba wo jeni mu su
Bibusada o say o person was sana nsa ka mu fi goals and growth
goals and growth
yes summit it's Supreme ade a yenna ye di tu amfo I feel say ye no kra e was say Bella sa atena se bi mu a no sa hwe ni bi mu a obun se no kra kire se no onye
they were right no onye ready and on wa jetum say oba media general kra no program yes onye no ono aka se onye ready
yes because about pem mo prekope
am I also onye ready
and what is it about mam show no mam new show no what is it about that
me new show
what the yeden
o ma new show ameko
what the yeden
yes na man na McBride free
Supreme ye ni pause when you get the opportunity to work with people especially in this space ebia ye be frɛ o se braba ye adwuma no eye bibi ne be frɛ o se particular thing bi ne be frɛ o se braba ye eno ho negotiation akɔkɔ ye enti as time progresses eno ma ekɔ nanim no ompanimfo na betima identify say yemfa wiwi e ma ona ye ne nkakra yenim se bi kura wontimi nye to perfection but ye de ma ona build said a bear big opportunity why ye hwe in be 2 years time a bear ready amount in be 3 months time a bear ready amount but why won't for pen sorry and work as a mommy new show because that is not what you negotiated for in the first place
my father said brabe say
brabe ye particular job me mami
okay
you don't want to say adwuma no na for akoma ina asem na ye adwuma
but if you cry say a lobby for we don't demand
e ho na nkameba no na wo ye na ekoye e bi kra internally what to say BBC koso
what a chance be cry there baby
oh boss how do we pay me passion me try and kabit me oh you lobby for it but then o man be say as you're right
say I was say the man wife force
ya no mo tena say no mo to do no mo ye meeting na wo wuni ho still on be say you are not ready Bella now you're ready goes and growth now you're ready El Supremo hey Supremo ebet baba say what ben don na no as they say dem kwa ye ready be don no to be your boss office no what ben afa ye hu ya show na ye na ria no ye say ayabra 2 o'clock ni enchiro no ma ba ko mienu mi na started
so no call life 3 yeah
into the ebia ka cho say bra 2 obetu na ye pese chiro anyoma ba ko mienu mi ensa bi ni started 3 fa wo ye nipa da ku bi wo ha betima about 2:45 ye ni be won say oh one pa na de bia bibi na asi but for say we hear what say okay 2:45
because I don't want to be in that space
we ya 2:45 no about 2:50 ye be busa so we ye be hu anu apie on you ready ye be ka so commitment na kɔ for you know if you can na ya prepare some nice offer bia na nke de ba be ma industry o me sa from kofo bi gatekeepers
the gatekeepers
so wo hu na on paye no on nsuadu na so beko sie na no beko BBC o boss for ya na be ba be si o mo so
mo aso ni gatekeepers
mo na be recommend na se wo ko 2:45 ni 2:50 na show you best at 3 no nya offer bi e bi DW Africa ni e ka kire o mo bisa se okra no work attitude net sen obe fleet obe do ma adwuma ntemu a ye be cancel mu onya ready Until in as much as I appreciate what she was saying, there are so many things that no area na stress that's standing here ready ampa. But then also can one interesting thing. Say no as atena say no ohun say na Nyankopon ye adwuma fa nkofo bi mu wo omo ano mo back bite no omo ano mo treat ni ye Nyankopon ye adwuma fo bi
o se nyame o se Angel Zakaria ene be bowura omumu bowura omumu no se montata agewe mumane ninka mumti Zakaria 42 ono ana yes adwuma Zakaria now ka Zakaria
why
na say Bawumia na ma so ndem kotu ba wono ntie o kati no o kabi buroso
okoka
Zakaria 42
se bia no person refer and no so kan ho bio nti no no ye tu ne fu no okwa ha no pa no akwa ha nwumre na aya ye tu ne fu na wontie ne bia ni o
enti e go angels ne bowura but on the other side ensem ha me meminka
ensem ha na also work but then you see one say onon so ye one of the few people omo exit from GH1 no na ye nkofo ya pa but then yante ho asem say ade we ne de aye Valentine wo okọ nti eno akasa naturally
it died down.
So if you move unlike KKD, they are not so friend KKD.
Yeah, KKD
they are no. And KOD, sorry.
Oka KOD
1957. Unlike 1957, they are not person make a KOD, right? Unso no there. Almost every year be a story on Saba app.
Every year be
Bola na down for Nibola, right? Say ni aba Bola ye.
One treaty on the Okasa.
John Jermaine na we dey aba na unse obi akwa na Okasa. Babella there. Smooth transition. I know call the baby the until once my business abre. Into me, I feel say she could have appreciated EIB. Nanka we jija sad details and keten. No more say it drew baby na nyoma more thing. E no more den no cry no kind no cry. Na me tell say because unse ho no e baby a de bo bi atrim say e ne nkofo no muntu aka. And na come do. So but then she appreciates the fact say oye adwuma EIB no from Charterhouse or more grooming into obey a very comfortable environment to all movie on na ehano no onya kukudro de be movie on but onya kukudro na the boss say na say o movie on when ya a better opportunity enti say bia wo ye adwuma baby che na so bosses appreciate your loyalty any or service no na say wo de to many so person movie on no mu shira okose na wo kwa baby abekọ no yere ho ye adwuma na great opportunities beba ko kan sanka
like baby atu atwa
but details no
too money.
Yes.
Hello. I just had a zoom na.
So say. Ede kwa kano. Okwaku afa side bebre a church sem na said odi kan kan.
But you was okasa on.
Oda. E wa say ni nyina no said kwaku e kano eye adesua na ye di besua free mu. Ena Bella ono nenim niema e call support say kwaku said they open no nyesa no be come because ono nenim ne ho ono ja ofem e be compare we crown say crown wa polishing impo ona ma futu to me to crown e call support because ono ankasa ne kaza ka say on kan we wo baby adaba then or kan ama ye futu ama omo honom but ade ba kwa wo say hwe enso ne say enipa emfa ho ne sede bia o boss e be treat you and as a platform bi obi edbema so working space bi na wani enye ho na se nipa e kambom e ma moye adwuma no omo no relationship na e ma wani enka e mo na se un feel good un feel fine so obeko adwuma inside no so yade a e ha manfo ye po bi ho no na adwuma na o ye no o ye okay o ye se but then working environment so nema ba ko mienu bi ekoso ni ntama oda sori kra sa wo sori akwa adwuma no eye ne din na so wankwa obende na ode amememfe na wakọ ne saba within no okofia anaso wo office a onenim esu a wosu anase nema enkoyie but onto me voice na because o feel say oh when your opportunity na sese oni bibia na oni choice bia so obeye but they be working space no e ma ne nya happy say the kwaku kan na no eye adesua but ni na de ba kwa me o mitima na say eye ne say ofri baby na uko baby a also making sure say what clear wechidin and I say interwantawa and as a problem be anywhere because we as nankasa no a circle na asanya ba enti bia wo feel say bia when your opportunity and say bia apem na wo kwa make sure say nkofo bi no honom dia oni omo any issues and answer oni omo any problem bia say the kwakuka say bia okase BBC ni CNN no gatekeepers no man no bosses no enti say bia wadwu wa coming into wantawa ebesi omo so a yemfro and I say yen recommend o inti say problem this say nkwa na solve na nie we move on so na why ejuma ne because nya bela nkwa Anita Akufo so the same thing today TNT na no asem na nsenya Regina so free honum ono kwa de na social because of late that on mampo na so ba no
e ma bebre ni program no so
e hwana ono so the lady circle
you know the beto no ma bebre bi na to
GhOneTv na there
na wasa betoma
and guy no be Redeem's life ni Jason ono so sano free I be the dada
crowd MX24 right
yes or MX24 into more workers be bro be for nyom nyina na omo kasaye
kwaku da me so be kan say adwuma honest events adwuma mpanyifo no as much as possible yen try say be treat people equally
okay
preferential treatment a hadwin yen fa ne say mu adwuma na we feel say we piwi asem we the boss the opi asem the boss the opi asem emwa sometimes the person who might feel left out
yes
one you careful no one maneuver in a year one person the obey say me the empemasem I don't more I empemasem na or withdraw na or you uncomfortable in that space what the American what you say kakra we ba so na aye ade anka nya atisem na be yasem as much as possible adwuma wura yen treaty our people
right
of course edia opebia sem yes but e man is so clear
yes
say me pewia sem almost animal no yes sir it's
also fairness
no
yes
adwuma mo pon adwuma wia mapon but wo adwuma mo kwada as much as possible try say obey you be fair to everybody
yes
and na workers so kwagu we have a lot of people who have left here I be quiet makaya say ye chira say basa tan any obi mu so mafia every year bia no o twemu o timbo wura
yes
na dey na ekoso o me bajiwo no kawo no agi no ko yeah last end of year party
yes
or your workers o free on ba o you saw plenty of them
yes
they make what you say obi so also we free ha but o shiawa you so fanche because I be brave. What you say? It's you afraid you ma. Yen say you never know.
Yes.
Yen say yes. Yes, a man treat you fairly and then you left. Let's assume say you were not treated fairly. Let's assume say you decided to go. What query? There's no need so son so.
So no farmer baby.
Of course, farmers why dwell on the sea wechi? Fast when you so. What tell me say? What free oh but say ni bi ono ma obi okra I say even say nanabadi o free eating crow and crow
nanama
yeah
o free okra wan crow omo ti e na
Captain Smart yi di jom
yi di jom e wa go on your TV the big esa na why won say only your problem but imagine you frewa me yare me ba me wan say wo sado a da bi cry oh me da bi ameka don't let anybody keep you where you don't want to be esa na cry the productivity in a coffin
yes
me no na ye adwuma e bia reason ti apeso for you can't tell me but boss na we dey say no me pese me head me ko rest kakra na adwuma nti no me so moye bia ma me da wase na senke betimi anka me dey see you see live in a manner betimi adan wadi asaba ho chena dey make an what you say live in such a way say tomorrow you can go there and don't go and after acquire a problem about
because so can be say the first opportunity nearby and so time can say TV3 so that attractive and as say how you and then the chance say baby I free na why or china bi nyoma and
that's just sometimes o ko baby clean hearts
yes
What did you team when you're free on Quadi Maninka? And Cotreba Bina, where you say, where you say, where you say, where you say, and I'm then say what you and say what
confidentiality issues and any other
extremely important and say what you to Kwagu. And I did a bromo now. Yamuba could be in a business now.
Definitely. Also a bobby so.
Yamubiso, a brand womb.
I cacre.
Now, Kwakuna Moses Cassan is emoji.
Come one patrol.
Tamana war SS. And the free SS,
yeah, SS no.
From 4 SS. O level in the one, yes. Kwakuna. Tibi frɛ maame ɔte krase oh ma yesi ento geography junior 50 cities granny 50 cities na
the satan need 10,000
ni tuki kambuma wanye
10,000
pa trying
when we ba won so nwa wie no nya be 7,000 bi na wo de ato budum nyesa na net
sa
enen kura ba de yesi da bi o
sa no me no supremo
kwaku hwe yeti kroma na ba bonten se akra bi ya kidnapping student pre-sex student
sure
so what you want say
yes
e man be ye kroma ye wouldn't be ye me ye ye de kwhye ye nuanom alatafo e bo alatafo din say na mo jama alatafo abegu kromu ha omo de ade say be kroma omo be ai abegu kromu ha e na alatafo agi ekura aboso alatafo agi ekura aboso e na nipa na kidnap no omo mo demand no say omo hia ransom 340,000 Ghana cedis. What the call Kanisi Kada Denimu at 3.4 billion. And Omo Jeffrey Ofuyo. And a Ghana police, Yenya what Remombe, Omo de Omuguso. Nababia, Omo this year Shibiano, Omo Shen the number. Kwakuma Kuno. Police report no be. Kwakuma Kuno.
Yadanyamiase intino.
Na Yakuno.
Yachala
oh, top mommy.
Okay.
Yachini Pansia.
A lot of phones, yeah.
Kwaku Yachini Panyala, Kwaku Tobo. Kwaku Yachini Pansia.
Okay.
Na di Pansia ni Achiono. Baku picture na dasono.
Okay.
Father can want to picture to Swami. Baku so na dasono.
Ah.
We muno. O ye two. Ni Pansia no. Emu two picture na babontin. Because two ena Abgana banso omunyini.
Women any
omanyini we mu obe 90 unse Ghana no over 18 years
yes
we ye treat was adult
go show the crowd so
we mu nyini omunya 18 years na omunya 18 years na kwa ombi ni fa letter so na me mu di nchira kwaku the odi kan ye friend no courage Teiko Elias Timmy ana ba koso de Isaac Si Ajeyi Elias Kofi Black
she
we mu mienu ade edi omudi eye adult wo ma omunya 18 years anti edi omudi abeto dwa
wow
5 na aka ne de yesi ye hi omawofo no kure na wo mu nyina ne say san kure mu bu sesika yi no omu nyina ye school fo mu opreseko eno mu ni o madamfo no asese ho o madamfo no so opeska kwa brochiri eno na damfo no say okay san te dia ye betima ye kidnapping ni afre wo ame o papa omu discan ba na the papers no dwane ko kwa na obefaye
entenya alatafo
alatafo ni mo
etu ka se achi ni pensi am se achi alatafo se achi alatafo ni alatafo se se ni mo obi omu nyina edi aba na egusi se ye ka se
kwa alatafo ni mo hwe alatafo ni mo hwe bufola fa sane me o say the Ghana police have through intelligence led operation and investigation has arrested 6 persons including 4 juveniles 4 no omunya 18 etienti for mudi emma omusina so ye presec boys students legona crowd for staging kidnapping incident staging the 2 adults among the 6 are Isaac Ajeyi Kisia J Elias Kofi Black and Kariteko Elias Timmy. Preliminary investigations revealed that one of the juveniles, in an attempt to extort money from his parents to enable him to travel abroad, conspired with the others to stage the kidnapping incident. Was it in the process they demanded an amount of 340,000 Ghana cedis, 3.4 billion, as ransom from the alleged victim's parents. The investigation further disclosed that the juveniles, together with the 2 others, succeeded in collecting an amount of 20,000 Ghana cedis parents in the twice.
Okay.
So ye ban me munkuno mamu 20 achire mo say ye de ye bo en wo de 329 den abeso so. In line with the practice that I think the juveniles have been withheld almost 20 for more ABB and trouble answer. And their parents and guardians have been duly informed as the police investigation into the incident continue. Grace Ansa Akrofi on a year assistant commissioner of police, director public affairs on a day about 20. Mumutana Mumu school no na geography book na mo parents me gariasa so na nsan and me yes wa wanya laptop no ma school mu ho eno na mo gije kwaku ya jabruchiska 3.4 billion
obi afami shoe
uzine mfai me white shirt me de ko dining ayira se na white shirt na white shirt nyira e kwaku they say ya graduate where unse kofi black ni back no unse wona etuntum me so kofi black ni
because me show omo we nka tum so mususa
omo nyina o school mu
yes
omo nyina o school mu ba we mu no na enya across 18 no nti no omo na ye betimi edi omo atwa alata fo nya we kwaku
we di alata fo nya we ye nyon ma alata fo mo ko mu nyina echi amo enemu didi amu nidi wa obinya ebabi adi wa obinya egusi soup kanu na so obusi ma den na betimi aye
ore
so ojiska we e de koma connection ma wo akra 17 years
no di
oji no obusi ma wo den na betimi aye connection e peni for ma bodge so mu timi de kongro you go onu sika go for so some de ko bro tro with timi ko now 17 year old a wo corporate cycle gon
I be book be the cycle
ya be je from some plan 10 now de koma han so han na nya paper na oh na supreme ohun me wawa pa but then reality now so na echi no reality na echi no say do man mu asi aye den no say across 17 years ebetima hu say no papa na adwen na say school na wo konkra supreme na ati so bi ko preseka woni ma ho wo ewum person de ko presek legon e di wie school
yes ko presek me ko presek
so on can person buba that presek bidi but one real makonya asem but o ko presek legon on hwa so on confirm new school no o pekwan ya befa so azan ma me 340,000 Ghana cedis papa 340,000
I know my parents can afford
it. 340,000
maybe say my parents bit my afford
it bit my afford anka initial we on the beto say 20,000 they
maybe obi nim say
my post ombenya say sika we ya anka ombe dika to be 100,000 crown dey ato ase answer
so ombeti ma afford it
yes
here mo say 20,000
but then supremo me wa asem bi kan asem we buy yon present for the issue statement aba
da bi me hu statement bi
sanka national science and math quiz ni ko okromo anka mu dwa yasum eye ananka omonkra mienu etimi aye robotics den anka kroma ye da ye yentimi nsori o
yenya hoto
monkra di nkwasi asem say motete ho is a hunu way what kind of training is going on there supremo me wan sam ka ho
ko kasa mitie o
supremo enkra mo hwe wo monkra mo ye de ma ba bejam ye ofa asenom ye ofa aso ye de mo fine ye jutum say ye ne yetete nkra na ofie na nkra no dum pempen so be ye de mo abremo na mo nso ma je nkra na mo nso ma teto ya makwan e de ncheche na ko so school what kind of pressure e de
akwa bi o ye na akwa boni o teacher ni timi nya wi o akwa ni akwa boni se me nya den
eto mo me hunu ni o ma ko so school mu wai
akwa ni akwa boni
omo me hunu o ma ko so school mu national science and math quiz and come back to I na ya wini then god 118 and then 7 now mo yes science akase ne no ma de kire wo kromo say
o popren pana
mama come asem mr asem we here pa dem akoma fa enkofo asem na me come on no supremo enkofo kromo asem na me come on no say ya eba na ye papa na ye no enya mo metro ne ye hunu if you crack kidnapping the ban cry then yet fa ho
everything America say kwakwe yes in that angle no they was come back on side say be I might invite the police to investigate and all that but then you know but once a kidnapping you should know this kwakwe one thing you should know is this say obi send a text message say you kidnap your bar I'm sure say they tell you say don't report to anybody
yes
it be a teacher for no credit name say kidnapping but actually police for the bar one thing say there's a kidnapping incident and all that. That time the end council Mumra Bontin dia.
Me cry the me kind of say kai say you so mon kra na so ma gangi apa ese no. Ntempana mosum fa bibimra. It has come to our notice that 4 of our students, almost 6 of our students,
school almost say why RASH and German and God. No, you
Achimota. And then Kisan Canadian Kija. Maybe 6 of our students are involved in say. By the way, Ghana police abaso.
Oh my dear.
Oh my dear, pa we. On say, edini nyo kaita mania mamitiwa. ACID boss.
Manager says starting pick a course. We say, "Tiafa number net to screen so."
Okay, time mania mamitiwa.
I know where they are.
ACID boss.
Maybe I'm crying no.
Yes.
Maybe I'm crying.
Listen, I am fanche omo.
So maybe I'm crying.
Listen, I am fanche omo because omako chere still.
Debi. Na crying no. O go fa don baby we chere but ye hu de kosi.
On say am fanche omo. Tinkasa issue yi. E ba na nka kran besi sabe ye hu akra na ka kroma say ka Ghana police omo nyoma so. Tie mo Ghana police abaso o ma ya de pass with their swift because dem kro minim adwen kwa omo betimi de biti Ghana police intelligence ben kwa.
Omo abusafo betimi my friend number 0593025576.
E dey nchekere na ekoso anti feel say akra wo be SS2 because 17 years there SS2 mo SS3 17 18 because SS2 SS3
what him say we na final year.
Yeah.
Because we na across way.
I know we na come be jom say because 340,000 be am 10,000
oh debi me sure say
no m ka sa broche ko fa no ye kwa ba be fa no e da forma ma me nche ni ta free e da forma
kanema
e da forma ka kobrale a tina ni aka yomo esu sa be bre se be kwa be fa o kwa be obre no ena kwabra disi ebre no kwabra disi say esu wi kete madura de chaya onu hu ne ho ano no na ga sa de ko be fa o supremo
but when credit oh hey this go back to the government o kan obeka say won kan yi kwaku ya government no hu say Ghana na ye dia ma obi adwane kwa abrochi nkran so feel say
the only way.
The
only solution.
What you say?
To riches.
Obiama, ya magana no moye din. Ama say o kwa here obi adwane ko enti nkran no obi afili say abrochi is the only way. Kwa kwa mpeki ko wura. Hello.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hey, crow, Massachusetts.
Yo, crow. Bakode.
Yeah, I'm Boko.
All right. Manankwa.
Mechia mo program machina.
Yeah, just grow.
Friday no. I said, me try to make crap as my pocket.
Yeah, fache me. Na pressure ne bofom.
Yeah.
Fache.
Me am there. First we case na for 7 times. So I guess.
Me ba you.
Yeah, because I'm going to be cover home Friday. No.
Okay.
But we can receive a do you know. But who said? But who be here as a saka?
Yes.
First one, GhOneTv. We will be able to United Showbiz power. And I thought, say, now I'm on the case with WhatsApp. Me it's now program no hot now. I meant man you cry. I'm saying I didn't go for almost throw BB. Because can buy MPP and come back. And can buy NDT and come back. You know, no more can say I will be out there 16 years after the end. So why me a case na national case na you know with immediate effect there no. Am to man can want them. It is me be say me did my video so I catch YouTube for say I'm disappointed in them. So when man can as a case you know. So I'm not clear. I'm making sure say next week they will talk about it.
Bro, what day in Massachusetts?
Okay, so why the end of the me who say a big deal because adult I know my choir man the end of the day but boy no me who na agent
I quite for him. Start crying out here and crying out.
Hey.
Yeah.
Crown and Kawa bit you say.
In a several brand in the at least crack. Oh yeah, 4,000 cry. They crack.
4,000 a day. I don't go to go.
Now crow who bet you? Crow
crash. Cry. I say.
Now crow who bet you?
Because minister is cano. Some also Oscar.
2019.
2019. Yes, Abreu. 2019, 2005. Yes, Kakuma.
So that time now the brand and our wedding. Because then I could be surprised. And in the way go be surprised. So somebody is about $1,001.
It's like every
3 weeks. I know the. I mean, there's a coach more than that, but I want to be Bawumia no. Because I want to. I know about that so to no crowd speak. All the time I know you know who you do.
Chromatia, that's very. That's a
way number 2 and crown. I'm not going to do you.
Oh, 340,000 Ghana cedi. What the dollars is saying?
Yeah, now what the yo man almost $30 billion. I use $30,000.
Aye, almost somebody about America.
Hey, I could be so scared about that.
So, who's going to Ghana? Yes, hello. Hello. Hello.
Yeah, hello.
Yes, sir.
Good evening.
Yeah, good evening. But you didn't be free.
A family Jona. Me tip season when I'm uncle.
Aye.
I buy one mechanics. I buy one. I look for.
I buy what day?
Don't you
Hey.
It's good.
Oh, thank you.
You're Bunaka.
On your Bunaka.
You're Bunaka.
Now, would you want to see?
Thank you. I need someone you know.
But I'm a child. I open you know.
What's what channel?
Open you know why?
What's what channel?
Mama. No can be kind.
But the catcher, where they on some power, one paper.
Yeah, open a reunion and open your menus.
Una paper.
The idea. Open reunions and our power how much insane.
How much?
Ah, well, Supremo.
Different woman.
Say,
buy you I'm so dang. There's a present for me calling you, Maria.
Suppose I'm crying, I know me and Crabonio.
I'm so dang.
No, but Obi, I don't know. Who then I would you school?
Oh, me cry, me ye, in Tibia, extra classes. And if I say extra classes, me call major tenor, me call me 3. Pay. No dear, and no they say normal. But we pay 3.4 billion.
Serious,
but to say Rashad and Krana ban Omian Crabonium. I dear for Omian Colaboni, not meaning the entire Nipabako. How would me convince other 5 people?
So we can on board.
Influence none order.
Hello. Hello.
Patroni.
Me patroni. But you didn't be free.
Patroni free. New York.
All right. Me patroni.
Oba girl no na ho papa wa ahye ni nso me pese me bo wa baso
medasi
na kopon islam pa apetuna pa mo na tuna mi kra mo nkoso a me ento aso why
yeah that's it yeah that's
me peka de dia o stati na me me ba girl you no me ho ye me ba no setade bia na oka
but oba no ba na be ma
na oda so account oba ba no
there be o ba no but o ba na be ma
o me ba no yo ba o ye young girl keto akora
ya pe kuna mani ntio
na de bia oka
oh ya danasi
and I know obo tredi
eso boti
na ya kele me de dana ni hosta
yeah
aha ono so se chinchina okobo me manen kobo
wow
nti moya de pa me de no antina me frɛ
yeah that's it
I ana me fa pay in so Bishop Labi mo on the number
Bishop Labi all right mpasho me pedi amount
Labi Juma
mpasho me pama why
me number about ho
me hu number no me hu number no wa
okay
me pedi amount
WhatsApp wa
yo me da pa na mi sra mo why na Juma pa mo ye apna wo so show wo so ye why
what is if you want to ye sabre yes obi nyimu no
na nye stubborn bia no mo
oh yeah that's it
okay bye
hello Nasif
Rashad no good afternoon sir
yeah Joshua Nasif
no patch on point say
nyame adom ye ho ye pa na so e
yeah trailer mpan ko pass
there say chan ye Ramadan no
be last day
chan last day yes all right
metia one akosia no na kweku bisasa jisi ya washe o slow blocking hard on
maza ye busa o
dabi
okay
Alentia. What's Arsenal fan beyond slow blocking heart?
I see slow blocking heart. What's it?
Maybe Man United ni.
Yo, na nyamia se. Ko pass me peke na Michel na bejo fo na. Rashad, once you ask me we bibia ya sori a ya se mbema de bema nkasa bema na ne odura enyo. Once de bia etambre bia ye papa eta be kase ebe bi wo ha ye bua ebe no emfa kwan so de
entasu ai obo sikita e kapa
enti eni pana we ye so kon ekunu no onu mu na eto se ye krokro no se ye pa ye se mema na nkasa bedwam
ye se be ma na mo nkasa kwakusi mo nkasa onye ne mema sa
adai be ma se ben so obusia ana me boa
no obusia
nti me man nkasa ebi tu ko man nkasa ka se se ebi tu na me man nkasa
kwaku kara ya na ba
beti so ba oba zo e ma response sa ko de ebi tu so ma response o
ai obonyum o studio ko choro
o ya tuntuni
na fi da de
ko choro nyum nyina
say on the jontuni na boys na omo tina ho kana ko bi say on pesika da ba brochen anka we dia o mo le kwala o
ese no o musu sasu o musu sasu
o rasa o mo le kwala akwala ntimi nyesa de we ye de no kwala no mo di nyambra semu
true and so ese akrabone ni
ye de no kwala 19 years Rashad me no ka say service me manya ko ma ba sa na obai o sawe o da ko sa de we
o debi
on the face akwala feja eni su fa to ese obi o tibi ni se so ni dia o nya akwala bio entino memma o men fa bi kata so enkwala ida kasa nke chom bom ba pa enye eni teachers for today na which ko no school mo show mo sunye
ti adasi be breminia
na ya fa le say me pa to en katina sa
me ba chokasa
me ti se me se no pe kuna ma pena
Omumi enu nyina abra ne lili nyina akosia ne abra.
My ready.
Nasif for two.
Nasif sisi.
Nasif for you two.
Boy, you just say.
Why you no mienu?
I say ti.
There be about afan am to akuri afan.
Yes, better worry yes.
Oya kamuni.
Better worry yes.
Mean to me friend na me obeti ase.
Oh, better so better
I mean to ba obeti ase.
Oh, obetu ba e dey obeba.
And they mean to me patch next.
And
they mean to me next.
As if you're that's it. Well,
Supremo.
My question on the say.
Yes.
Should we necessarily punish and destroy their life for this?
Destroy any thing. Because what's the day almost 2 coins so a bit my correct almost on reinforcement in your day now.
Positive reinforcement. But Chadi cry. Roughly, they're about 18, 19 years.
Yes.
19 cried out.
Yes.
Make a me no picture. Omudin, Omomia
adults. 19 Omunya. But show my betina her.
Maybe 8.
Omomia adults. See, so you treat you as adults.
Yes.
I've come to realize, I've had opportunity, like I told you, in some prison, central prisons, yes. Your prison is supposed to correct, but people come back out of prison worse. Mamu say, "Mami peki wembra, na me meka, di na meka no." Hello, yeah, Crow. Yes, I'm wakwaba. Okay. I am Aba.
I can't remember saying we work from primary up to JSS. So me school my assignment like now say school you program like me so because make my I about women. We try me king. What they say?
Yes, sir.
My dear, and conference Cape Coast, former central minister, Mr. Duncan, with you know, Olympic.
Yeah, no, I'm Mr. Fakar program also.
Your classrooms, your classrooms still work here on it, so now a domestic side, they're all down. So they not here on the social in a different form. All because you see, preludes one year, a day say, and now 1 year, a day say. But nowadays, the post students are bad, many parents are bad. School, I didn't see more board. I didn't see they don't care about their kids. The only thing I will do is say, if you don't take it out, or until say you will go back and introduce the old kind of system education, which is the cane, any punishment is even near the man. I tell you, say, still, how dare you say, as a SS student, like, who makes my first one up to and say,
Yakinapo. Emotive. Okay. All right. Yeah.
My person may come.
Yeah, that's it. Abuja, somebody.
Yeah.
Kwaku.
Supremo.
The American a woman and say, I don't know if say people are not getting what I'm trying to say. Me say, as one make a simple say. People go to prison, they don't come back as they are. Yen na yehumbi. Ubi onoma or the akukuria and they go prison. But on free ombrano. Not over tutu because you see your prison system no too hard. Too hard. Oh, it does not reform you. You make us say almost shouldn't we treat them? Nipana I can be treated them as juveniles because Matisse so many invited their parents and all that. The best they can do, no say be a juvenile school, everyone call for a couple of months, 6 months, yes. And they go to learn carpentry, counseling, and all that. Then they come out. But these two people, the way the police is already treating them as adults, is it the right thing?
Of course, they need to be treated as adults. But then, in as much as you treat someone as adults, so no say they are kind of age gap, 18, if you are 18, if you are 17. Yen share category no mum no. Crowd no minim do more yempo. In as much as say fine law no state say 18, but then minim do more young kasa. Say chance be o ha. So we there omunkum bia.
20,000 so you money.
Yes. Boys will. You can do my room.
20,000 they can buy. Yeah, the twice 20,000.
Because be on my general. So but then yen hwe kwan be fa so am matinu bi ase because say CCA na o pet 140,000 dey to kwa abrochi na yen grumo mu yi na sam kofo we ya sa agents mo supremo e be kakra no mo call proper robbery
no because as ska be di o manim
because say do mo say hu sika ntem na ade no but say the work no say be a 5 months 6 months bi na yen form
me credit me person ke do be two mainstream
normal counseling
yes.
Be attend there more report your money parents and call money guardians and call na yen no nim komo yen hwe state of mind yen yes therapy no mbeko no sa one year kre o se momko
and at the school no so
more chance
punish them but my pamu every school no na bia me ka say no amount of crime as a child and I was taking education from him what I say yes for you know some of them will be one of the brilliant guys in the school
yes
obiswa we akraboni onyina hu na baka say ndi kofi pani
very true
it happens obiswa obunse we kaka onyina bosa no wa calm down yes if we decide to destroy their future now because omaye nkraboni sem now nobody can predict the future they should find a better way of handling this better way.
Don't you think that the influence of boy no appearance no so bit me am nyoma boy na or see akena pe no na antinga parents ni tua no say bia omo bufu say dem pe bia amfanya me bana ene omo nche ne de problem
na go be answer na parents no be say ai
so omo help lead say bia you go ata dem pe bia amfanya no understand so na de omo nche ne ni say o
say obanya kra oba no ntina ni nipa ball
but say omo kokase
enya de awoti a oyembe hihye
what is o papa de kede de apona
obekasa mo fane nko
but obekasa mo fane nko ba ni tiri mu no
mu nyina ne automatically mu na mu ko bio so but say okase okay we dey adjust to ye betna say nhehye bia mo de beto akwan mu bia na ye behwe ne edi so a because I hear I'm cranking
and life I say and I was saying make say the government should also take part of this blame.
Yes
make right the main picking it from yes the education has a huge problem at education level but now every day Ghanaians are running from this country steady way.
They are not traveling, they are
running. Teachers say teachers for power unim o teacher mates buso almost say their school ni teachers do not say every school ni nurses are leaving obi akọ we ko abrochen ye easy o
na some nurses ni say abana mu pese o mu
de onukwa de bi ko esoso mo kra maso to ha mo se mo nya bi o etikwa ko hwade o the government doesn't seem to care etina ama akwa na o tie che ni to feel say abrochen na me kwa me people are not valuing education anymore. What I say? Yes. I'm not from value education anymore because they feel say at the end of the day, me we na me tukwanya me kwa minyeska. Me
we kwa minya jumanye.
I was say you say the government should come in, educate people. Mama Frontier say 1995 from 1990 to 1995 2005 akonto no. Abrochire kwanya bi ni o. Say ukwa tu kwa abrochire na onye educated a. Obebre papa. Aprapra kwa onye bimpra. What am trying to say?
Technology be
kwana nim. Sa tete akonto na ne yetu no. Me kwana minimo bia ana me di kura chro. And me call ye makoye yie no atwam. And you see, this kind of education is not going out. Obia Felice, Abrochile Udru na Sikano, Sikadria.
Yes.
And now, what that's sorry, no, I had their progress here. Say, so, no one for no what to be a can. Son, I'm unfortunate. A bit dumb for Trimusa. And it's the government is coming in, educating people, let them understand, say, enough form, enough form, and now, if we are saying, baby,
yes.
Kwaku baby, baby, I would you say, Hanamo dear, as much as crying co school, when you say, yes, you say more thing, nurses we can't pay you all, but the Sremo put some, let them know, say, there is a plan.
Yes.
But everybody growing up feeling, say, there is no hope. And so, be only youth, 100 Kasa. It looks like there's no hope for the youth.
Into the little opportunity we open.
But and I'm crying so more elder brothers, so they have elder sisters. They go on social media. That hopelessness, you know, they don't want to come back and be in time to remember. What I say? It's that hopelessness now air spread, you know. A crowd wouldn't answer, no. A crowd where you know. Obetime I fall into it say, hey, it's here I'm so baby. Well, you know, this issue, no, my young fan trust and crabone.
Supreme yes, also say the role of the parents too.
The role of the parents.
The upbringing of Nkrano.
Yes.
Or be a moon no more ban and Nyoma. The last time no to for Nyoma no the man crano. So ebia akra pewe uni bukrana de amano. Akra pewe ni bukrana de man ebia mu discussion no. Ebedru be na we demand certain things ema. And then my men pay different way be am the binya sa de na the idea. O share no so no say.
A huge problem. Yenim say akra bi enim say the parents was can. Eno de akra bi o wi ase bi atrim no. The parents are the the parents was ka a attitude. However, you going the extra mile no. Akra no betima da bia na make say teach your kids to be content with what you give them. Teach them to be content. And no say what teaching kura no me content say. Kofi open there was ebia me pe calipo. Ebia na me birthday. Assume see a class obedi ne birthday ho. Or they say ni say ne buy. Also okay, what's birthday no dey. Me cake ba ko na me nyama. Na me nya calipo ba ko na ma. Kofi di me nyama no. Like you see, manantia say teach editing is difficult. For a crab who said, I don't have enough for the parent I see but consistent, teach them. But I say, wouldn't it be? But also the more because other people are doing it. You are teaching that crime to be easily influenced by outsiders. And only peer pressure last time I make one seven. Say me the other way, Mikrawena so many. Mikrawena so many. I don't know, Bikra tablet, so many. Christopher Namo. Na Christopher Michia Christopher Wia. Okra wait for Bakosha. Messy peer pressure. Sitting. The American what you say?
Auto pressure.
Auto pressure. And I say, what be water pressure? But what's so nadaja? What's it is simple. We are not content with what we have.
Yes.
And those things start from home. Starting free fee. The parents bet my idea pay teachers no pad your baby omonye. Say akra basics no. Asia hono. Ya nkyere se omene ni nso ade. De won sabenya bia na ye mo ni nso a. Kwagu forget it. There is nothing anybody else can do.
Then as parents no. So obansu nyini or start to school. Basic school no the reg SS teacher said there should you be interested in the kind of friends Oma involve your mohana.
Extremely important.
So
me make it way. My developing that relationship with them say the best school me omo make catch me. Hey, and now we are done for. We boy are your friend. This is my friend. Of course, school say see and we can't say chile auntie, almost from aunties and uncles. Auntie and auntie can't say no, you know, let me tell you. The moment I say Akran, yeah, pressure where super what break. But the moment that you stop listening, or better outside person in the uncommon. At a point, and same also come to the Emma would tune phone on country, but catching a down for. I don't know for the back channel. Okay. You see where I'm coming from. Sabrin, common would in any ha. Common Sabrino. And common would know. It was a witness where you go. But also, Sadina Woods, you are filming a bond with a child. Yes. When you say between Bambi didn't come, between Papa didn't come. That conversation with them is extremely important to Akran, but when found. It's Andrew age now. I feel your culture is important to you. No, one can catch up on things. Okay. And the woman so spoon a bear say, and crown more attitude to Mudin Kwame. As a material Kwame culture, other way. Obusa also busa me busa also ye de ko 2A ye de ko 3A ye afu ko hanom we ne maame abefa ne ko ha ne nyina mo ka kire me if you don't force and sabre na hi and I make us the conversation here boring as a parent because what is that conversation here then what did I mention say but if you don't force and ono sabre so na no hia no omo formative ages na no nie say to the trim say papa cry don't care about my conversation I'm going to have here you are done onu ni komodi bia it's in Supremo say do time be. Now for who say these friends omo bad influence on me, but so what are some of the steps that was he take, especially young fans who address say now how do we need to form now so obey now for no more or no more did agree as a man start and no business and no mom didn't and then I was all as a before a mobile baby almost say we drive away the wolf before we advise the sheep. Yeah. Yeah, fans we are for now we hear so na ba kwat but we say osisire bi di kiti ba omo so ade na be where obedi kan afa ba apa mo sisire no okowia na watu ba akone fo say enko obiem yes what I say yes enkase matumi ba fo boy sikita aka what I say enkase matumi ba fo yes what tu ba fo no de oba no ye wo fo fa wo obeba be still it's me the first thing I would do. One, I'll find a way to let everybody know. So parents, me wo school, more teachers. The way one me banana mempe. Tell the parents, tell the teachers. We want me banana mempe. I feel we are me ban because I already have the bond with you. I advise you and let you know. Say, you say ni sentia. Obi on man buy ade. Na wa bono. Watiano. Na akrani su. Akrani ye no enye. Na akrani ye osu. Akrani su ya the right thing to do is for akrano. Wonnim die nti ametia wo. He should know why. Yes. Obi ono ma wonnim said we enye, but ono nim said we enye. Yeah. No chance say eye say ni say nti na mempe say woni we benanti. But most importantly, drive away the wolf before you advise the sheep. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Near prosec for we kakra bi ni na but still na NSM kiwa and come back. Hello. Hello.
Hello, good afternoon. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm good. And you?
I'm fine. I'm calling from New York.
All right.
I want to join the conversation.
All right, you're welcome, sir.
Okay, but I would like to speak my local language. Is that okay? Good. Am I connected?
Yes, you are connected. Please speak.
Good.
Yeah.
But you're filming, could you boy?
Okay,
Baby, me flew Ghana, me body cry on map.
Hey.
As a power, but I bet you have over 39 years. That way, about butcher, no, you cry. Nancy, I have a butcher, no. You go school here near Yejuma. A Yejumo Joe Luke was so concretely at the Alatabasu in a Yakobi. And yet, the share a butcher since 1985. From Europe, I say, me, American man.
Wow.
Now, the attorney said, the me bagana, me for me jail movie. I see them way advanced. But me jitum say nyame wo kwaya or you mundi padas and ibi, and sometimes I don't feel like my head is my better butchery. But you're more friend now, you manu walanda wokana. They follow doggishly. Almost pressure more keke. You come away iPhone say, Opino better me sika go to iPhone 1800. As you gonna collect be a person who iPhone. I collect be a person oniska. And you who say Takawa, Yakoku obi the Konya the other. You media no. So to play. As if we could think well answer. Ghana, what's the way be ye? This time you are minimum Ghana. Because pressure, a walk room, any bravo, any other dear would be paying for. We even know man who was a crown, and easy one. As we are portrayed, sir, I would say, having came on America, the other one or better. School Kramoka wants him, we almost put a master's degree to Krona. How much you money? What expertise am I for Krona, or when you money, and so maybe school Krona. Not to be a free Africa, but one. Yeah, racism, only Chinese will compete, only Italians will compete, only Jewish compete, only Caribbeans compete. Now, Africa, you move on your way. America, who the PhD crab, they don't value it. It is what the Ghana now you use. Now I go school. Now, when creative, now when you're doing and now where we school to go, you can't you suffer. Over Name say, parents be what we see any and was sponsor now the crata badia. Fine. Apart from that, Ubeti will be Uko and Nameba Ghana Mefa a blend with Umu connection with Boajibo almost $15,000 on the bedroom. Then I asked them, sir, yes, I was Dimu. This come, I don't open your business, I want to Ghana and I want to. And in fact, in very follow the years from your former child. Or when you be no Bruno or when you be yet. Because and easy one Brazil. And easy one Europe, Canada, America, and the baby I think. That's a refugees in who free Albania, South America, or Mabu Krumano, or Mukromania Jumania. Now we'll be near Ghana. And yes, some money educated man. No more when you say Ghana or Maya. Me met to go Europe, Africa, or maybe it was a Ghana. Or maybe it was a Ghana. And what I can remember no Benya Jumaye. Now, on my auto, no, oh my guy say you need brave and your manuma will be yes, will be for Ghana. It wasn't done in one day. Mr. Momoe,
that's a pa. Yes. Yeah, that content, you know. That is where everything is all. Obi wobi, minimobia. What only fee? A to coin, aqua bruchity. I could do a video be declaring. Obabaka, over dying. Over dying. And it's what kind of free. No. Kokon we are. What only feel a to coin qua bruchity. So Kobobra could draw bruchity on no. Anyone who say massa, and your better. Because mom is picky women. Yeah. Hello. I was here for my church. Maybe I should also. I'm but you didn't. Maybe be a free. Pasha Empress. Hey. Empress Akwabo.
Lady first, I can't say to say. Empress, we all think I have to go to one cow stressful. I don't have nothing. Because I'm a Chiano. And shout out to Sima and Sin. Why? Wow. Shout out to the girls. I want to comment on your topic about the Percent Boys.
Okay.
I I think harsh punishments will not be necessary here. Clearly, those guys are so smart. On my dream right now, no guidance, no more here. And I hope so and paying you for bedroom home because for them to really think about that kind of thing, on my dream or I hope so they don't mess up their lives with harsh punishment.
Yeah.
The other thing is, Rush, you were talking about little kids.
Yes.
So I'm a first-time mom, and I'm learning so much about Ankola. I have a toddler who is, he's 4 now. So recently he said, I'll catch me about now for 4. So what I do when I drop him off is talk to the parents of the kids that he normally would mention, and so I tend to talk to them in the front of the school. So I want to get to know the parents of the kids that he mentions to know what kinds of home those kids are coming from.
Yes.
So I found something out over the weekend. Maybe someone say, Kojo, who's your favorite girl? Me thinking my son is gonna say mommy. He says some little girl's name. Hey,
yes.
We go to school. But my husband was so happy. He's like, that's my boy. I'm literally in the front of the school waiting for every parent with a little girl to say, me Pacho, what's your child's name? Because my son says it's his favorite girl. Anyway, fast forward, I think it was last weekend. Normally, because, I said he's 4, so he was born during the pandemic. So I cultivated a habit of buying things for it to be delivered in the house. So I made a mistake and I ordered the wrong pull-ups. He's potty trained, so he wears pull-ups at nighttime. When the pull-ups came, they were for princesses or for Spider-Man. So then I'm over here complaining how, the store delivered the wrong stuff. Do you know what my son said? Mommy, this is princess stuff. Can you give it to Samaya? The favorite girl, no. It was very good that my little boy is smart enough to have compassion and he's a giver just like mommy and daddy. I was so happy. So I told him, and so I did that. He was like, thank you, mommy. So last Friday, we were leaving. I had picked him up and we're leaving. And of course, I'm still trying to find this little girl, right? Because I want to know who her parents are. Mind you, fast forward, when I dropped the pull-ups off, the director of the school said, hey, maybe God was working through your son because that little girl, her parents definitely need those pull-ups. Wow. You see how smart children are? Wow. You see what they pick up? Mm-hmm. So on Friday, as we're leaving, I said, Evan, is that Samaya? He goes, yes, mommy, that's Samaya. So I get out of the car, and I finally met that girl child, right?
Yes.
And I spoke to the mom, and she goes, thank you so much for the pull-ups. And I said all this to say, we cannot underestimate children. Yes. They're obviously so smart. They come out already smart. They just need our guidance to hone in on the right things, So that's just my little 2 cents and my humble opinion about guiding our children. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Empress. Thank you very, very much.
Thank you. You guys have a great day.
Well, Kwaku, do you know the lesson from this? Lesson back here. Osa, who's your favorite
girl?
Obo Bidi Ancho. Kwaku, growing onyini na would drew that age. You really want him to share their course on a brabuma. Do you think someone can show? Because we Sakurana. Oh, to me, no have that conversation. One judge, you know, you see that is a problem. One judge, they're already smart. One judge, you know, well, here we want, like, what would they mention? It's growing up, that bond, you know, has been created.
The hands of a twas, say,
also, or can be so, say, well, who say, Nebana down for me as much as possible, or pursue who. The parent of Sakra because baby you free bano. If you be no muade, if you be munipa.
Sure.
It's here for over free. Obadam for for free ba.
Yes.
Hello.
Yes.
Hello. Good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Oh, we have a party.
Yeah, me adumo, but you didn't be free.
Oh, from Mike in Denmark.
All right, Mike, but you.
Okay. Man, no, but I say no, me. Although we are put to the bar, we are youth now. Because they didn't go out. They didn't get 8 years now for 30-something years. Yeah, but I ever now said wait to court. You see, I answer Ghana. Now I'm hard to see. Says now 30-something years and come on, cash or I can't see. Because Muhammad Akufo that boy they said you almost to pick care one album, Papa. I said, "Fellow, abandon he is before me. I can also with you. You should be 30-something years. Now say, you be already in teaching, but also about also about it's most marriage family. I say,
yeah, that's everyone. What's it like? What's it again? Young fat.
Baby, I say fat. Also, man, watching now, you know, say fat.
Young fat. No, 30-something years. Now pressure
it's the also trivia.
Yeah. Because what you say? Oh, what
39 years. Into Monozum Travis at 39 years.
I say for 20 years.
Yeah.
Young Cassie, you're coming.
What's in the movie?
But you're looking now for 20 years. But
I also put more than almost a year.
Yes, you can, and you almost say, yeah. I go for the bro was
this too shall pass. This
Obaba yenu me yama. Munya abotire na wonu mentra ha. Na mo konen kan wanwa.
I'm on for concern for that so crazy mo.
You GhOne you complain. You GhOne you complain very.
Ye dey Akufo ado betin mu de monko.
Yeah.
Yes.
Eti kwagu
Supremo.
Yeah, this when I believe say you know yesua bibi na. Yesua na mapa. It's extremely important. Say let's get to know our kids. What you say? Mana there are some parents. Who catch anything say na batia. Okay, say, hey, now bano die. Obaka to need that because we need the bano.
Yes.
Last time take us the same way. Ma Lydia. The BM the name reference. Ma Lydia.
Yes.
Willie Way Foundation.
Yes.
Or just kwamo. A rehab
center
and a counseling center for addicts and all those kind of you know. Kwagu Madam the number I think say you number a couple of times. Now Kwaku pick when I come. And the topic back when you say become one day. Hello. I can say Kwagu or can't be cheer me. Last time I said I call Castrano. Emma catch me say, oh, you for Neguano.
Yes.
She ranks any man, a woman. Omunina, my men on Papa at the 4.
Wow.
I'll catch him point blank. No, a free way. We no man who are breachy. We no papa who are breachy. We no young who are breachy. We are Mukwana Hanum. We ne Oriana some say. Na Omu abu on some day say. No, say no crenon say. Me copesica abeshemma. Ubabano.
No, what you
say.
Because why being now?
That is the biggest mistake that the parents are making. Omuni Momanum. Wake up. Now we call. It's at a point, you know, Akrano has nobody to really get closer to. It's when I want to be the agro, not down for. They make a lot of say.
Yeah.
Ebia, Comodinko, would see any no cofa craboni Adam for with you. So would tell you now back of Craboni Adam for. Brebia.
Got another from Bacabia.
You Bacabia no crack. You Bacabia no crack. It's no young Mompaye. Say yen disikachi ense ye fie udisikachi adwuma sika kwa the time we be realize no na say sika na ukopeye no entimi hwefie.
Yes. Akobia menem no de bia Kofi Dike obeba na Kofi Dike ase obey say poto
oba Kofi Dike na boa
Kofi Dike na boa
what you say sikana nti wo say me mani nti na me bre no sikana wo de beba ba wo de ba be solve problem wo de be solve be wie no no wanya BP hypertension wo da wo na efie na wo si ma so no betrem no wo be ton aka ho kra na de solve problem eti no ye piska be hwe ye ma ye piska be hwe ye ma no yente so kwaku na mempeke we mra na meka story bia nche wo.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, sir.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon. Pacho, we didn't baby free.
Hello.
Hello, Pacho, we didn't baby free.
Hello.
Hello. Me Pacho me tonka. Hello. We didn't free.
But Rashad, I won't say I will phobia so hwa. And found when sika omoye obo hwa de ne ba pe bi oyema no na so man kasa emma omoma no enya odo ewo mumu
nti mu say o provide
okwa abonten kakra bi na obi kire no odo a na waka abonten na ne aka fenti obi ho no ma ene trend bi aba sa woni street ni so I say the won hasa na sa won kan nti ho okwa abonten no bi kire no kakra bi finish a owodo wa abonten esin ni fi no wonten na ebi mu awofo nsa so machi ebinum ye mpam wo mu ebinu ebetimi ahwom na so maka abonten enam so mu kofi a edo na wo so munya wo fie no omunya obi bisa no boso ho te sempo obi ko so ye bisa ne se school ye bisa ne san ne ma ni bi
obaya akra ba ba ma I love you kroka bi nche ne bada eto kwa abonten ni obi ka tena na bi ne bada do na wiase obaya no I love you, Kran.
Good afternoon, manager.
Yeah, good afternoon, Pacho. Didn't baby free.
Pacho, your friend chemical.
All right, chemical.
Chemical TV, yeah.
All right, chemical, Pacho too.
Yo, Mrs. Tobacco, US on.
That be what friend life? Hello, what friend life?
What show book?
Hello.
Yes, sir.
What friend life shows into me and you na friend why?
Oh, sorry, Pacho, yeah.
What they make and what yes. I love you, Kroka Vincent about that.
I know they be brain ness ye be phone lines at home. Niaka say em free obi and mamma and papa can I love you at China. Ye be na kwen rutu e ha. En rutu.
The boys can I love you just.
What I say
no
I think a crabia. Na so bi chira no do bia. Onso o nipa ndo san nipa na so na eden ese nkrofo anase mpo omo na ye bi omo ye no eno mu di akire enti ehun so bo onye se bia wudi sika ma oba no wo to atade ahye no anase bia wo provide bibia wo fie de man ma ka se ena wo te ya ena menyo oden bie untonsio unto light wo da dem free menyo oden bie mani hu sa wo do na so fa ne ho obi ne na wo foti fie se bibi sa ne se school mu te sen adwuma te sen wo kwa ba kropo ne me ko se imisa ne bi na se bia wo da light mu jari free would it free and no say oh I said ya me ya no but that emotional support na crown what me be crown me say o ma dey asem no on fi wo atiti
yensua bibi
yes but crown dey also on pekwan bi so on befa so crown this your mo we dey nye bibi
enya dia e wo say kokye be bo kere Japan nuano ne Samira mo nsensem no so but asem be komate say akosia so pese wo chia nipa mienu mi nsem te akosia so mo fast na yambia paso kokwa bro wo sem ne say Samira Bawumia nua akoko dwiri kere Japan enua dan nyina egu ye stage na wadwira egu na die mi wi na be kan wasem
mom show down my chair Anas Boy Enterprise seven into the creation dia Gan has say oye number 1 o design POP ceiling e ma ne fe say enfa light ni AC enhihiem na entoso kama pa dia eno wane Anas Boy Enterprise na nemo de adwuma no so e papa say obezi POP fiber any POP cement dem wa ebeche na ne bo no so de eda form boko enti no say wo paint decoration e wo fie se school bi na wusi asori dan bi na wo ye Anas office ba bia wo peno no ene Anas Boy enkasa na o mesiesie fama na de da ho ene say adwuma wo nyina no sika kra bi sika ponso no be yehye utua bi akire no now de aka aba be ka ne home best do door to door shipping me patch wa UK would tie me and Christmas eba and I say free sabre ye kobiano manfo pi na and ship your moneyma onyema no say ye cars and tade and pabwa eduane ye di and me ankasa me birthday be wa UK person me surprise me no obetu me da fa best do door to door shipping me nsabeka nipa na de brand no so no ne nsabeka na asomdwe mu afa wo Ghana person kofa ne ma bi e wo UK woni mo bia wo ho no odwen kwa be fa so kofa any best do door to door shipping enkasa na fa list enema ohia mom say ka ho nema bibia opebia no on beto to na won saka na somdwema problem bia e ma ho ndi form numbers na frɛ na ne best do for any enkomom Zion View Construction and Services oya ade ye o medan ya bubu eden asai eba nkwam ubo hono ma ne building no oya ye ache inanse nso start egugu apatobi braji ufie na boso ewie start se na airboy wo ne painting no asesa color unheda ehuni ye me ne wokase ubo hono ma ne dan o timi nso to na onifie na ne hwehwe ne sanse no refi ni nyina esoso eno tina Zion View hono se eba ne dan ho asiesie ni nyina no odi hu djuma painting tiles, renovation, plasterboard installation, offense CCTV cameras ni nano or install be emane fene sense e downson. Afe o passa se anase de ato de manso sembia enihu their problem enihu ene Zion View enkasa na oma obi ento wankasa wani ebeje ho. Fane numbers na friend abrochire for na musimu dan no betumi de agya no obehwe so na kama pa ama wani etumi agye ho. 3P garlic mixture and I make comfort ma obi bi go hono ma 70 ama so me fom say no want to me so mundu 2 minutes ne sabe 83 na sempo ne sabo na start e sheki ne nyina e yare sounds no baby hono ma ne menses ba na sabe na yase nyina eye ne ya obi hono ma enheda emmaye ba enne ochina emma da bia so na yase ewe no sa problem we nyina asthma high blood pressure 3P garlic mixture ebetumi to say e dama eye dread garlic and aye ne krogin sa wonom ne ko nipadua ni ma ebes boa na asawo yare atu yare bia se efri nipadua ni Piwak natural health and ediaba buru pharmacy bia na G3P garlic mixture ni bi anaso Hawkins work herbal no akra obenya dodo na nkasa ato eho nti frɛ na ne panifo eni enkomo Nova Plaster Ceiling System. Me pacha we your contractor na se wusi udai na uhia cement board, gypsum corners, acoustic ceilings, PVC wall panels and a wope. Enko baby ya for Nova Plaster Ceiling System na ani omo enkasa. Omo niema no eye papa ne bono so de eda form. Wodi ye juma eche na ye fenso ede ma. Ghana ha say de baby awo bi awo to no se enye delivery emma e be deliver na wonsa kan ye wholesale any retail. Obenchire mo pia betimi afre wo mo na ani omo edi enkomom koda herbal tea and I make for edema se de biano ye nua ye di ye mframa ye home ye nwuma bia ye industrial works bia ye chemicals bia anytime biano ye hua koye mu no ebetumi de akoye wo mu anase mpo betumi gya yare bia ye beso ano a enko enti fa koda herbal tea for number na frɛ wo mo anase ukɔ ibe wa brochire no mate se mo peti no tea no onno manum de be ni padua ni modwuma betumi atobi wo honom na wonso atumi anonom Ghana ha sense ko go filling station bia ubenya bi ato water crowd akosika FM na kope bi to ewo honom kuma se mo fo mani nkyerɛ mu ewo Tafo Government Hospital ubenya koda herbal tea ni bi wato anom na wonso onipadua no opomode ho nsɛm no atumi akɔ animu edi amount Mayencha Heartbeat Homeopathic Clinic wa wakoma no eho atechema se wakoma eya oye bi kakra bi na wabre utumi kakra bi na wabre da bia na se wakoma no ho na oye mo hyehye kakra wetim da ko Heartbeat Homeopathic Clinic e bi kwa na wonim de ekoso na so ankasa Felice nda bibi enkoye wo mu a okwa do betu mfidie so ahwe bia wakoma no problem bia ba ho ba bia atechema bia omodi edura kan side effects bia eni ho na akọ hon ma wayare sanso de ubenya anya na sondwama ho so watumi ade ho omo locations no ebi wo oboase sunyane takrade na akra for mo best na frɛ na ani omo eni enkomo
awuza watch your movie
match your kama
nice one kwagu
supremo
me topic we number sidi twam quick
okay
eni nka bi nhemu unze kroma mo se ade eche na yante asem foforo na yechi enya asem mo ka no sa mo se asem ade eche na yante asem foforo na yechi na de ete ne de adutwam ene de ete ne de adutwam
supremo de na asie
MPP nsensemi ebetwa de
Debut intimate trust, especially as sounds election year there.
Say after is it 4th November?
Yes.
No, the problem even started
before
August the next year.
Yeah.
And like Japan say as a dental NPP machinery is against him.
Fighting against him. Yes.
They are against him
because you know.
My now a year can Japan financial on a raise on the campaign finance them I'm from saying I'm raising funds for your campaign.
Oh, okay. On and I in charge of salary.
In charge for Sanimano. Where can Japan? You say young Kobe Sinuya. Yes, no crying money in our friend say Omuda, some papa no. It will be referred to the man say Japan. Your friend on a year or Otibunsu. Lady no. Now Ora Otibunsu na. Or estate wadenta. Yeah. I was see building mansions also. Bebre dan bebre sisi so a or the adwuma or no so ni sikani nze Japan dey ko ni ko ne bo.
Yes.
You know. O be na adwuma. Ono de beni sika. Kwaku so ho no ma na onya asem so Supreme Court say land na project no so no belonging to two prominent people, which is Accra boy ni Tuako family.
Okay.
But Tuako family na major part.
Okay.
And almost no more land in the free more. But we almost share.
Okay.
So when they came, no almost pay problem. They paid.
No almost settle.
Almost pay almost the same amount. The same land no twice. And almost project. Almost project na. Almost no man lady be by Hajia buyer. Was what quite dental circuit court. Ako win case na sa land ni ene dia. Na what the grade that baby si wan ko be dwiri dan agu.
Oh.
And I say na the already lands you cry no. Ma see me project cry we ma to ma tua na twice impo. And quickly omo ko siki yi wo so. E ma say court ntwen. Na omo so di omo responsible ba. Na omo kan asem no. And China another estate by Winchester. Omba ya omo so say omo dia.
E asase ba ko na asem.
Asem te ba ko na me kan. And as a case in a court between Winchester Hajia and a year Bunsi. I case no court of Moka. And I do two. I'm on for her, almost a suja for, Omodian Tias a suja for about. Omoni Budoza and near Titirufobi. I beg you to go.
Dino.
Now, a suja for no so by ya. Omumwina na jutu sizi obia phones ne niema temo bi entwa dwiri I order from above no me say above no wan wo person say order from above no ye kwaku order from above no ye one e masa order from that above no
metrimu na kakrai
wouldn't the Nadbo deputy boss so I think so na the main boss cry your friend Abu Ramadan
Okay.
Samira Bawumia.
Yes.
According to also on Ebedwiri, because on this assassin in India, on any nearby BBC family house. I'm a good deal.
If you were here,
I dental.
Almost if you own business.
I'm to my greatest in the
brew now.
I would say, Uncle Freya Abu Ramadan, and then pay for Quatras what you tunes I. On a ma or Dano.
Omdi be sebusun fi.
Omdi be sebusun fi.
One why abusun fi.
Samira Bawumia ne brother.
Omobusun fi. What the metra na si.
According to Omonosono, that thing is being done against them. They suspect say because of Omonikere Japan issue.
Yeah, issues.
You know. Kwakudi no. Na dipo be my narration nyina ye. Ayi di kwadi kan be kasa ye. Ken Japan ba no ebe kai say me wo fa da be kasa chechi me wo fa sa na madwire gu madwire me wo fa ama ono so kasa ya wo so ene ya pa but na two for free eye Benjamin Otibosu ona ye ne bi ne baboy no ne baboy ona in charge of na adwuma ni nyina ena o chechirim say dey see no no ono no je ba ko kan twa me nso ni say na sekedinja me papa eni kere Japan eye adwuma e raise fans man e de campaign nanka bone ben waye antimu ye ni sei akwaku areho yenkuti mra.
So you see the war zone in East Legon? Second lady's brother broke down my uncle's buildings that he's building for a shelter. Look at that, yo. Broke everything. 10 buildings. Broke all of it. Shit is crazy.
the papa to assassia or develop a 10 separate apartments, 5-bedroom units, 1 story. Our ability, star oil, put him home. We've been at this project for the past 5 years. But yes, then, there are court cases, yes, sir. Back over after High Court, back also a tema, and about free circuit court, and over adenta cases. You saying in our course, you dismiss say case or Accra. The Madian so my order as the 4th defendant. I will case no say. Yanko soon see a dime. That injunction via lower court, a circuit court, a free. Adenta say wamano and not valid because parties now ewo adenta case no more or the same case more at the High Court at Tema High Court. That Tema High Court no a higher way of mukta jurisdiction saying adenta diano. So we pursue the matter or my order. And you say you do you mean like you see that illegally. There is a court order my permission say you go see and then about 3 weeks ago, and then you news say Gofubia Bawumia attempt so big and then you go. Now my papa Rashid copy so and also on penny. But Comodium and they didn't be PM say near take here at the end of the year 1 day teacher, you know, is it Abu Ramadan, you know, not mono. And then your second lady, Samira Bawumia, what they are over here or more fee. And then, as I say, I told authority and come from different families, no, we are them before and the Koya will bush and fees. So what we did was you file a stay of execution on her identity, you know, because this note was being dealt by a higher court, High Court. 3 days ago. Saturday midnight into Monday morning. And then you say, you basically workers in our full, the movie to one side that you move a dialogue. It's already a rush call, you know, you soldier for any police for at 2 a.m. 2 a.m. Or we you're moving military cars, you know, we your number plates. A clear woman they were able to get their number plates and what their registration was. They went as far as the Jubilee House. That was where these cars were headed. Near 2 years, no. So all 10 houses, 5-bedroom story, no.
Okay. Mase bisane se o kan court ho asem na yade edin hwan na mo ne no court case e was eden hu.
Okay, so court case no near e tema no is near Winchester Empire Company Limited versus Ojo Wing in Kansas or Samampa Estate upon way family, George Tibonso, and they are 4 defendants. And a 5th defendant, they Hajia Aisha Ahmed. And now, Ewo Adentano, Hajia Aisha Ahmed, and they are plaintiff. And now, the Papa George Tibonso, a defendant, was our assembly.
And say, Abu Ramadan. And second lady, Omdimbe then was asking me.
So, I say me by now, the Papa say, Omudino, on 19 so called President Kufo Obona Mania. So, when you fear we break, Obona Mania, no, on no day, I say, on the assembly, ma, or afraid or worry. Say, on no share anchor assembly. Or afraid or worry, friend, Abuno, one deny or jitumu. So that is how come you say a Roman Taiti.
Ojitum said then, Ojitum said then.
So, Omudi, honor the young bush and fee.
enti saa asem ya wo kan wo audio na wo ho evidence wo ho
asem ya nka wo me papa echi na me papa te ho no mu di san komo no nka wo lechi
de mi bisa ne se wo ho adanse wo ho se owura Abu Ramadan jetun
owura Fred Oware eni ba se mi pa owura Fred Oware eni
won sa se mo ya ye ka ni se no court nsensem wo mu ne mum demolition akoso na ye bisa se enti bia o owura Fred Oware edin na enye ni din na mo boso ono ena ma because mo se cars na mo di achi no we're heading towards Jubilee House enti ena mo nso mo nkomo amadi akire se eye owura Abu Ramadan ema waje atum enti mesre se sensem no nyina wo court no mo betoa so wo court ho se cars no a na ebebubu ebabebo amadan bubu no ekọ no na ekọ no en hu mfoni na hu no wo TV no so no enti omo chese car no na ne nyina ani ekire Jubilee House said the omo eka no okay Mira Benjamin wadawroma yenhwe ni sei mejiri se ba bi aduru no mode emra because na ne yakoso na emra na moka na dan bubu aba mjidi se mbetimi afile mo ne ma nso aka ho ama emra no ne yesa chi bia akire wo ho ana okay menua na do wase anopai so agebra na atwehwe nkomo why
na menua ka na obekọ no if the Ghana police and military agencies or Ghana had knowledge of the media course no from East Legon up to Jubilee House no cameras this is quite no na obi jump red light to me chin and terms these individuals no across cameras from East Legon so ekofa shiashi it is so sad to something through to the Jubilee House. Their cameras would capture all the video evidence I hear cannot. If you don't person catches as usual, on my cameras in New Juma, from East Legon up to Jubilee Gate, this is the person catches. If this one person catches, yeah, Papa, no, or no, call a fundraising committee chairman, and we'll work Kennedy Japan, or no, you're gunning. Onye Ghana you.
Kwagu
Supremo.
It's almost so many besu abusuan fie. Ti ena na wati no da wadwere nyina. Na soja for no so sizi mo mbegu nyina obi afon. Omo wie na omo de so mo obi antwa. Eti omo mo antwa. But omo dese soja for no se so omo boa. Omo di ka na chi. E ma ka ne ko Jubilee House. Military we nyina ko Jubilee House.
Aba ma san so a church baby cameras ni
ina abobo. Na almost amone Abu Ramadan so no jitum or no kind of confirm somebody be see abusuan fie. But I don't understand. I don't know someone can court case no.
Omonka Supremo na corruption is the abuse of entrusted power for private gain. Omba be catch us omonya corrupt. And they are 2 hours away.
Corrupt ni bi ni.
E bi ni na de owe den so private gain also the koy den. Wo de ko si den.
Om di ko si abusuan fie.
Abusuan fie e wa adenta. Supremo. I say omo be kon bia so mbe lose election no.
Because we go directly against Bawumia.
Yes.
Because already can Japan will issue say mum penasem.
What is ready
tiame.
Majuma me I say no more target or more me honso.
More target you.
Most na minimum rate. I didn't see as a more than as a muhu mo. Most more for more court because in semi crown. Enipa mi no dia court. I'm a year can say I can't once a movie. It is a move go harder than
Winchester for no.
It is already as a war documents no. O de na papa. I don't know for the name to so nen kata bibia so. Now the Takashi. Any to me awo. Any access awo. E de kwa kwa sa de wi. Ebiem so documents na papa na adwumbo ni bia no trim na hu ne so all right so kokobubu a adenti na akọ no omo phones
and
omo gadgets oje
sanko bubu na sa tu
so adwum ye fa I didn't know we are one must say this is what we are going to do. Fine, maybe for security reasons, maybe we go
because ni man it's demolition.
Yes.
I say it's over to turn us on demolition. Omo ko na majoda. Ye na wia. Ye di come ample time. Ni a chere mo say omo structures na mo say the time was second chiro you know na ensuo no mo ensuo ne kwan so. Yes remo. Ensuo to aduru. Muntu.
Nya ba be trouble come.
It for some time munya ya no ba demolition na kwa muza na moto empatadai. Every day say na be nipa no bag wafa. O mattress bi na obreto ye wafa na de. But you too. Oh, entwe yi. Again
we notice kana mo de ma o mo.
And besides the court case that's it. You know who say o ka so maji stay of execution bi o court ya. O metima to o madwuma so.
It's meaning so omunim de omo ye they have the documents to back whatever.
Because time akra boy mo call court no. Omusa kutua ema odo no motua matua ka family no. Omusa kutua double ma omo because omo no be so
be project na do na so omo to aso. And so onso feel say o hu akudun na wo na ukuta tumi ne say wo say asase ne yo de na de o ya. Ade na won go through the right way. Entine nei omo nimu mra no. Omo die so.
They are supposed to know better.
The best advice free lawyers at titru ho ne comfort titru ho mama omu ne yese
momo ye de mo pe
no china bi akoyo obi fofra nti we nipa mienu ase bi omu nidin ana omkoko yes ade we ya anka den ye beka fa ho kroma
anka beka so na mo kamunimu ne mun de ekoso ana wo Samira kra
project kesiese
Samira kra ukunu pe president
enti no nyoma bi say kra
no ma unkra mom
wakunta pe president
what does wakunta pe president e ma yanka say asesi ampo na wo abisu power yi
because you see obi tinchen ya or every right so beka say na say di kra no ujafo ehye ho bi nini aketo an jack nini aketo ehye ho bi no no
because it goes against you and I'm surprised how won't say there be a executive power no the vice president's wife authorizing the military. I don't know. My name there.
Unless they be produce and no credit because said they always say can ask them ka say ka o ma track ya
baby cameras bobo o mo hwe cameras ni hu o mo baby a o mo di free be wura
o mo said and he's being smart too. Said we see man narration na kire baby o mo fa route no cameras ni ade nyina no. Say esa copy mo court should they request for sa evidence when na tape na sa time ni na ya delete free mo a
na
and also be a problem
because I said when said we any na mo kata so
yes
yeah
and they say no to me obstructed with the kind of obstruction of justice
yes say what
evidence no
name evidence we have evidence
yes they requested for say route ni na cameras we camera ni na na say the banner time be from 11:10 to
was e call offer
intimate call off. God, and cameras, nothing saying now solar panels be boss one.
Yes, solar panels. So Japan has reason to be angry, right?
Oh, yes. And he has stayed quiet for some time now. I don't know if still now no bit me I can me down not on ye bibia na o make bibia nen mu ya omo police station minim so makode and mu ya be kwa kopiem court o se ko and when you also no credit be a free mobile or more say compensate to and also compensate to your compensate to me obi a project is real estate
5-story buildings so
now obuso di abusuafi no musi do say
kokuna se abusuafi no
supremo ni hu abusuafi supremo musi do say supremo also hunu o musi do say
okay who that Samira said ho fe Samira the way I take care of herself I know say the convoy crime movie V8 back on the makeup kits in them.
Sani ya tete. Ain't been confirmed.
It's a movie at Mintra Bimuda. Semi Diomati ko baby. It's
na box na.
I tell me because o deserve so nya one room for that in the family house. I said when nya baby obeda. I said when nya baby a.
Abusafio.
Oh.
Abusafio bi a betina obi o.
There be some me to no come between 3 rooms. E wa abusafio. Abu Ramadan between you 2.
Okay.
Omo aja omo
ofa for no.
To metima na say events the brother Samia 20 bedroom house. To omo betima si be 70 bedroom house. Who do brother Samia 20 bedroom house?
For Abusafie.
Abusafie.
Na brother Samia dey say Abusafie.
Na so when this for rental.
Okay. Okay.
When this for rental. Obi a fa na fa ho ne ko bie dan bia mu de. One to ba ho am fa dem me come dem na ma fa ho
enu ne asem
brother Samino brother Samino do we na yin tino
Oh, but I think say very, very bad. Very, very bad. Say the more you use more power to more ankasa personal benefits in it. Say it may confirm a story we yesterday develop, and I feel say Wednesday no.
I believe there will be an update. There will be an update to it.
Yes.
They'll
say the hand for na yen show money.
Of course, the police will of course the statement and na court na tiasem so or man judgment. And you know say if there has been new development, the judge will obviously say something.
Okay.
They make an order say bibi we one basem mummy no more kun aba me aba court wa kan wasem na me fa chiri be wi a ombe bibu say na adena mo kon na we ombe say na si o whatever the court has to say the court will say.
Okay.
And you know you say and then news who's the no nyimre and see anopa no I believe say you be hwe bc
yeah
and then they say obi ani abre obi e course
yeah
going forward, you be who the basic.
Okay,
you be who the basic. You be who the basic. Kwagu, you fancy on. You fancy na braba.
Yes.
I'm just for the BBS. I was there. Then I will catch a Ghana for.
There me what catch a Ghana for you na say obi anshen ho suye.
No, can watch on suye.
Pa, me so.
Kwagu na na say.
Ne say kwa.
No manager.
Mo many can show you to be a
manager.
Na me ga say kwa na
what's it somehow?
Somehow. I sound me ba had no jai. Ade. O so ma me ho to me ukuro.
What is o be free say yenyenemo. Oh, maybe sana me bisa.
Ntu banyem me.
Oh, that media bo.
Ah, na ti mani pane no amenyem me.
Is that coin?
ABM. Yes,
so many guys. Me say. Miss me here closer now. To be honest, me here closer.
Sorry,
the manager say me sham client na me hu no. No me hu na no what show no so.
Oh, you good manager nka be hu me check.
Me show me.
Na wo ko
oh, sham o de mami baby 2 ahwehwe me wa hu me.
One.
Oh, he
contact me hu.
O friend na say contact there o friend.
Ekwan ya wo say
also phobia to be phobia.
Also we chant jaisa o. Ugu market jaisa.
What email?
When was the last time I visited you?
Liliabwa AGH.
I'm sure for it's a holiday. RASH HOUR GhPage. The boss is El Supremo.
What's up? Could you many of them? Rashad could do many. Now, that will be some question. Me, my shining my mind.
Daddy.
Muso because 1,005 a day for me.
Them say no see so.
There be o man kasa mente munka.
To be Obeja ye ho asedin na.
I said would fast to meje.
I ho asedin na.
1,005 a day.
Nipa no way.
Nipa need to for saying.
So God say 60 days.
60 days.
2 months.
To 2 months. 1,005 for 2 months.
That's last week. I don't know about mo kana me and I go sana
it's a 90,000 Ghana. 90,000. Kenya bado.
But I go gross on a more serious note. 2,005 na kwa as a gift ana.
And one
2,005 na kwa as a gift.
There be any so daily chop money.
Daily chop money.
It's a gift. Inti Jerry for inti me mama me jan hotak.
Ah kwaku. Kadi ken kwaje.
Obes nipa no way.
Debi
no way. Let's can no dey there.
Kwaku 25 na chop money o.
Chop money dey.
Kwasha macho nipa no way.
Unse ono unse that time na nyinse na ba no. That time na nyinse na ba no. And unse a man so nyimo mo cravings.
Okay.
Enti no. Na se na be ya all sort of cravings.
Babe, I'm craving for 2,000.
Na ba. Ebia.
2,000
no kwado. Ebia me kwado so mo to am.
But you go catch any pan song can.
1,005 no.
I can't song can.
On Saturday never ye.
Yeah.
Kwagu.
Supremo.
You be see Nyame Wednesday.
Fantastic.
I know say baby Ramadan chan.
Yes.
But I don't know say baby break Salah Wednesday because when say 11th and a holiday no.
Yes.
11th so a Thursday. one with the confusion.
Yes.
11th year Thursday.
Yes.
But it break his Ramadan not
Wednesday.
It be Tuesday.
Tuesday, mom.
What you say? It's most of the time movie the next day and a salad. But we know.
Omoya no more the bow.
But said down baby no.
Baby na.
Baby in the minimum say.
I say be movie day before.
Thursday. I don't know.
It's been baby. It's been baby. It's baby na. It's been baby Wednesday. It's na sala na Thursday.
Thursday. Ha.
See, you know gramophone.
Wednesday they be share.
Omo share na omo ship ya na so mo dey aba.
Yan share dey na mrewo.
Salad omo che fried meat.
Christmas no. Why now?
Wokoche na koko.
Baby.
Why now wokoche na koko?
Me di Christmas and me di salad.
I do salad so I will.
Oh me di salad, but me di Christmas. Because Christmas am me so much chili jam me so. Me nye bi ba me di salad.
I want your fasting bi.
Ba me di salad.
Rush hour.
Kwa kumesi wo.
Nyame adoma Wednesday abusa for YouTube, Facebook, mom na yet na nyina do bibi ase. Nyame hwam wonya mo kese. Mo koso na mo subscribe na mo kai se program wo betima sponsor. Se opese odi advert be gu so a number no na go screen so na ya free. Nefa advert be na kama ama onye we nko so social media trends nyina no advert ebe call no and the advert ni so the call all platforms nti no ebe fa baby a number si na go screen so obetimi afre na one ye edidi nkomo kwa kwere si ya krobia edo bibi ase akuze that say no best kind why nyame show bye bye.
Smoking and inhaling of smoke is deadly. It is an addiction that is becoming a norm in society that we have to pay attention to. Can we watch unconcerned? Smoking is the leading cause of preventable death, recording about 1 in 5 deaths annually, or 1,300 deaths every day. On average, smokers die 10 years earlier than non-smokers. The general awareness about quitting smoking is not promoted enough. Now, let's introduce Coda Herbal Tea to help crack down this mess. Drink Coda Herbal Tea each time you smoke to help maintain strong and healthy lungs and also prevent smoking-related illnesses. Spread the word, save a life. For inquiries, contact us on Facebook, Coda Group, Instagram, Coda_Group, or call 055-448-4022 or 054-190-1620 or 024-405-1536. You can also visit any of our sales points across the country. This product is not recommended for children under 12 years and breastfeeding mothers. This product is FDA approved. Coda Herbal Tea, a herbal tea supplement.
Nakuma, they be complaining to Nakuma here. Hi, Nakuma. So let's take him to Heartbeat Homeopathic Clinic. Yes, Heartbeat Homeopathic Clinic. What's the name? This is Nakuma. I don't find Heartbeat Homeopathic Clinic. And one of them.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Daddy, to say.
Asisia, yeah. Me want Tommy Heartbeat Homeopathic Clinic. Only a good heartbeat, no. ABT.
Yefema na kwa me taxi driver na enka na me sisi so me sisi ama aka me na to na twetwe na 3p garlic mixer no aboa me pa ebi aka miracle bi wa dream just ma funu kra so dis ka chini anta me umi esi so kas me umi ani esi so ka so die bibi hye me so bi no na ye normal nti ni bi ni ti pa me 3 days ni ebi mo anga ta de nyanko ko de ayi bi an odi se ma ebi ti anya sam kitwa ana se de me tro aka so na me ka se me nkwane me de abe pa 3 years ni ana asemi ginawa me mo se sinya se me kwa me de na ko bi amu so much me do abe 6 years ni ema bi am we imagine say na me gana nti saya le nku preko ene 4 days ana me koto 3 guys ni stand ema me kase
Yankupon and they have no cassette. And what from here, the German and
GP Garlic Mystery. We will do a memo pharmaceutical shops and herbal shops for Piwak 024-89-288-24 and 020-100-002.
Smoking and inhaling of smoke is deadly. It is an addiction.